Enter the realm of the VCR Podcast with your host, Vish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello everybody, welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that reads itself in the moment the title is spoken. Adam, aka askcsradical, here with you guys. Vish and Chris here with me, of course. How you guys doing today?
Cheers. Fantastic.
Sub average.
It started snowing. So yeah,
So I actually was lucky because the weather was quite nice on Sunday. I swapped my winter tires over. So
Me too.
yeah, I was just like, I am not dealing with this shit right now. I have too much to lose. So let me at least get my winter tires done. So
Yeah, I
that
did mine
part I
on
guess I
Saturday randomly. I'm lucky I did them because, yeah, like there's snow and stuff now. Talk about
okay, so
last
today
minute.
I was okay yesterday, but today I actually skidded this morning.
yeah.
And
There's a little
right
ice
at-
this morning just because it rained so much, but
Yeah, true, because it was pretty warm yesterday.
So it was bad because I almost like skidded into my company entrance, and my car stopped, and I knew I was going to, but it was just like I wasn't going fast. It was just the
you hit that patch
ice.
of black ice, nothing you can do.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it
Well,
ain't your fault.
Speaking of hitting patches of black ice and sliding everywhere, well, I'm going to slide right into the
where the
intro.
hell are you going with this? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that sounded like a porn title.
Yeah, I'm like,
Or the
speaking of black
description to
ice
a
and
porn.
sliding.
I'm just going to go to the
black ice.
intro now. I don't even want to see where this rabbit hole
Ugh.
goes. I've learned too much from you guys. We hang out at the
Yeah,
bar
I'm
way too
going.
much. Well, okay, pre-pandemic, we hung out at the bar way too much that I know exactly where this goes. So I'm slide the fuck to the other direction, and you know we'll do the normal stuff. So you know what? I'll start for once in a while because I haven't done
this
that
is
in a little
new.
bit. So I
You've been
finished.
playing Madden.
No. And again, I will kick you off this show, and I have no
You're
qualms
so
about
getting
doing
kicked.
so.
Oh, you're getting so kicked, dude.
But I had a really dead period coming into Cyberpunk because I didn't want to start anything major. So I figure, okay, let me go through Prime and see what the hell's on there. And I totally forgot that there were a couple of shows I was curious about looking into, so I checked out a couple of them. The first one being Truth Seekers, which, if anybody remembers Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, those are the guys from Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End.
Oh yeah, how was it?
And they did, well, this show is, okay.
Is
Long story short,
is it a scripted fiction show?
it's like every other thing they do. It's all just fiction stuff.
Okay.
So the gist of this one is that they decided to take like a ghost hunters like sort of premise and then inject their bit of comedy into it. Now I will say, if you go into the show remembering Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and you're expecting this in TV form, you're going to be probably disappointed. The humor isn't here as much. There is some good stuff in there. There were a couple moments that made me just giggle my ass off. But this is generally speaking more of a sort of like a tongue-in-cheek, like dry humor kind of story, which British humor tends to be more dry humor than anything else. And a kind of weird, like, paranormal conspiracy story that kind of gets woven in over time. And it actually ended up being pretty good by the end. Like, I was a little bit slow to start, but as soon as like you got a couple more characters injected in there and the story started to move just a little bit, then it started to pick up and I started enjoying each episode a little bit more. And it was the kind of show that by the end of it, I'm like, all right, I got exactly what I wanted out of this. Nothing more though. So it's not a show that I got blown away by, but I definitely by the end of it went, okay, this didn't, and it also doesn't demand a lot of time. They're 25-minute episodes at most, and it's only 8 episodes. So it's really easy to binge.
Is it a miniseries or is it an actual like?
I don't know if they're going to
show
keep
with
going. They definitely left room to go beyond this, but it's just 8 half-hour episodes, so it doesn't take too much. It's not like if you watch like The Expanse where it's like 13, 14, 15 episodes all at an hour a pop, so.
Or Glow, because Glow was 8 episodes and like they were short, like less than half hours, but Glow kept you hooked though. So
yeah, it worked out pretty nicely that this was a show that didn't take too much of my time. So.
I'm sorry, Chris, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I think it's possible that the reason it was like that is because if it was a British production, British TV always seems to be like that. It's got a lot shorter seasons, and they just do. It's almost like small miniseries. Like each season isn't a season. It's more like look at the. I don't know if either of you seen the show Sherlock, but each season's 3 episodes. Like they really shorten.
They're like almost mini movies.
Yeah. So like obviously these weren't mini movies or anything like that, but I know that there was a lot of British television shows that I used to watch, and I'd go and each season would be like 6, maybe 8 episodes, something like that. So maybe it's just because of that.
Luther is also like that. It's a short season. Like Luther is not like an hour and a half episodes. I think it's like 40 minutes, but they're short seasons.
They don't dive as hard as we do. Yeah. So, they never have like 24 episodes or anything like that.
Yeah, so it definitely ended up being a pretty decent show. Like I give it maybe a 7 out of 10, like pretty solid, like something you'll enjoy. And like I said, it doesn't demand too much out of you. So it's you can finish that in half a day and be pretty happy about it. So
I'll probably still watch it. I'll give it a go.
Now, on the other hand, there is a show that I had no expectations of and ended up being fucking amazing, which was Alex Rider. And I told you guys that last week where like I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is reminding giving me like Agent Cody Banks thing. I'll try this and just see how stupid it is.
It was basically James Bond Jr., the live action series.
The first episode went, and I went, oh, this is not what I think it's going to be. This is going to be like super hardcore action thriller. Like, ooh, this is really going to be interesting. There is not a lot of action in this show. A lot of it's very much in the spy aspect, in the like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on kind of story. There are a few moments here and there where there is some action sequencing. Obviously, there has to be a big fight towards the end of the season. But again, like a lot of it more was concentrated on the character building and the story building and the mystery. So I really got my kicks out of that in the same way that I like Man in the High Castle for a similar reason, where you spend more time trying to figure out, okay, what the fuck's happening, rather than it just being...
So there is like a few plot twists and like engagement to the story where it's
well, it's not nearly as hard to predict as Man in the High Castle, but there are a couple of like twists that more often than not you start to catch.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's what I'm trying to see. It's like, because a lot of times some shows will just end up on a cliffhanger like, oh come on, it's obviously this and it's that, but this is actually there's some like thought process into actually wondering what's gonna happen.
And even like small characters play a really significant role. Like there's a single episode where he deals with this like really posh, bitchy, like young girl, and even in that episode, like you get the sense of like, holy fuck, like I hate this bitch, like this could be a villain, and then the episode ends and it's done. But you're like, fuck, like even that one episode, and you're like, damn, that was even a fucking good like bit. But by the end of it, like there's a pretty good cast that they could build. Like they could build off of it if they really want to. They've left it so that they could continue, but they also did a good job of closing it so that if it didn't get renewed, they could definitely like just stop and had a pretty decent end.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of shows right now that are not continuing or have been abruptly canceled because of everything. So that's a good way to do the show.
Well, yeah, at the very least, they were smart enough to be like, okay, in the crazy case that like this doesn't get a lot of views, and I mean, Amazon's really gone hard on advertising it, so I'd be shocked if it doesn't do at least marginally well. But They were smart enough to at least close a door and like have like one like barely like open so that if they wanted to open it, they could. But in terms of like small like short, well, not a short show, they're all hour episodes, but it's still 8 episodes, so it was still easy to finish. But it was really good, really good. I was unbelievably impressed on how much I ended up enjoying that.
That I will definitely check out once I get some time.
9 out of 10 show. Like the only thing that was holding it back, honestly, was just I guess the villain could have been just a little stronger. Like I didn't hate the villains in the show, more or less that I'm just like, okay, you need to go away.
What,
It's like, you need to
what
be
game-
stopped. You need to be stopped, not fuck you. It's not like you with, like, say, Homelander or like villains from The Boys who are like, fuck this guy. These are more just like, I think we need to stop you.
No. I'm telling you, man. When you get a chance to actually watch The Boys,
I'm not going
the
to.
villains in
So
there-
that one's I'm definitely
That's
not
fine.
doing.
No, but these villains, you need to stop them or put them in their place.
No.
They are that
What
bad.
I mean is like Homelander and those kind of villains. The sense that I get from people, it's like it's not just that's the villain they need to be stopped. It's like I fucking hate this character. Same with like say Joffrey from Game of Thrones, right? Whereas
these characters is like you like them, but they need to be stopped.
no, not even that I like them. It's just more like the lines of like, okay, you're the villain, you need to stop. Like whatever you're doing is pretty bad shit. But I'm not like, oh my god, you're such a fucking prick, or you're such an asshole. It's like I don't even want you to like get arrested and like put in jail. I want you to die horribly. That's it. It's not that case with these villains. It's more just like you need to go to jail.
So it's
You need to go
basically
to
like
jail.
like Thanos or who else? Yeah, Thanos. That's all I can think of right now.
Either way, we're not trying to spend this entire podcast comparing fucking villains. I made it pretty
Okay.
clear. There's villains that you fucking despise, and then there's villains that you're just like, you need to stop. And these ones are just ones you need to stop.
Yes.
But yeah, that ended up being pretty good.
I kind of want to give that a go as well.
I
wanna
would
watch
strongly
this. I wanna
suggest
watch both
if
shows.
you know, with James Bond still kind of on the fence right now, like this is definitely a nice substitute.
That is true.
Sweet. That's high praise.
So, and last but not least, I looked on Prime further, and I couldn't honestly find anything that got my attention. So I'm like, crap. I'm back in this thing of like, what do I do? I need something
You're in
that'll
a
just
void.
fill like 20, 30 hours maybe, like just last me like the next week. And then I'll be ready in time.
Adam, now
Can you
has
let
a
me
creator
finish
account.
my bit before you
Pornhub
decide to
does it.
ruin it?
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. Because you were going to like this too. Now I don't feel like talking about it. Maybe I should just skip this part.
Damn it. No,
Don't tell
please
him.
don't.
So
Tell him.
I was looking through my library being like, okay, what the fuck can I do that's going to be short and is something that I'm probably not, like, even if it did take a little bit longer, that I'm not going to get too attached to. And then I remember PlayStation Plus exists, so I looked at that again, and I'm like, okay, well, I finished most of these games. Oh, wait, I haven't tried God of War yet. So I tried God of War. Now, I'm not going to blow you away by saying this is fucking amazing. I'm going to say it's fine.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine.
It
Whereas,
is
like, I
definitely
didn't like the
hard,
original games because I thought they were way too, like, very small arena based and you just whap the shit out of everything. At least now with, like, the throwing of the axe and obviously Atreus helping out with that, like, there's a little more to it that isn't just hack. And I'm okay with that, not to mention a little bit more openness to it, so I kind of like that. And I mean, it's fucking super pretty too. I'm playing in resolution mode, not performance mode, and it's fucking pretty in 2160p. Ooh.
Yeah.
So how far are you into it right now?
I just went through. I just used the Bifrost for the first time, so I'm in Alfheim. That's where I finished off right now.
So it's so the game itself, it definitely does start off slowly, but as you play along, it gets better and better.
I mean, I was definitely like, it drew me in right away with the emotion because at least like I could kind of see the relation to that. Obviously, like, okay, mom's dead, you're trying to take care of the kid, like, and you're dealing with all this crap. Whereas, like, it also wasn't trying to make me care about it in the same, because I've said before how, like, The Last of Us did a horrible job to me in conveying how Joel is what he is because it doesn't spend enough time with Sarah to really have that value. Whereas this, like, obviously I had no value with Kratos' wife, however, all I can recognize is like, oh, they're grieving, and now they're trying to get past it by laying her to rest. I can understand that part. Whereas, like, it's not just like, look, you have to understand that this is important. Whereas this is just like, no, I get it, and they're not calling too much attention to it, and not to mention, obviously, with the game being as pretty as it is, and it's really easy to look past any story elements that are kind of weird because you're spending too much time memeing by just hearing "boy" over and over again. So.
Yeah, I know.
Boy. It's
But I mean,
like
in
Geralt,
terms of the
but God
gameplay,
War
like
version.
I'm playing on story mode because again, I'm not trying to challenge myself. Even the bosses are like challenging just enough that I'm like, okay, I'm moving. But more on the lines, I love the fact that I can just be a jackass and just keep whipping axes at people and just never getting them to touch me.
That does sound fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far for what it is, like I'm enjoying it for what it is, just like a nice little time sink. I'm not blown away yet. Maybe that'll happen as the story develops further and I get into some more intricate boss battles. But as it stands right now, so far so good. Like pretty nice. It's just a nice little in between.
Where the game changes is where you get something from the past. That's all I'm gonna say. That's when I felt the game really changed.
Well, I guess we'll see how that goes along the line. So, but for now, perfectly fine, and it's nice and fluid. So I can't complain.
Sorry, how many hours are you into it?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I mean, it's probably like between like 8 and 10 at this point, maybe.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think you'll actually end up finishing it before Cyberpunk comes out.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I will. I've seen how long it's supposed to take, and I'm pretty sure I'll make it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I'm actually glad you're going to be able to finish it because it is.
I'm gonna have a weekend and at least like a half day on the Wednesday before Cyberpunk, so I'll have a little bit of extra time to finish it if I have to rush it.
The way I
look forward to actually playing that one too.
This game itself is not a sequel. It feels like its own game.
Well, and I think that's what, and I think I said it way back when we were talking about this like a while ago, that I think it helps that this doesn't feel like a traditional God of War game, that it actually gets my interest a little bit more. Not to mention, I will say, I have more of an affinity for this specific setting with the Norse gods rather than the Greek ones, because I mean the Greek ones to me have always just been like pretty basic, whereas the Norse ones, I feel like there's a little bit more like magic and supernatural stuff too, which I think is a little more interesting.
Also,
I mean, come on, how can you not like one that includes Thor? Like, come on.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, of course.
This is why
come on.
Sequel is...
How can you not like the world that has the strongest Avenger?
But he does fight Hercules in one of the other God of Wars, so I don't know.
Yeah, but he doesn't do a song. He doesn't do a song after that, and so it's just not the same.
That Hercules fight was one of the most graphic deaths I've ever seen in a game. Adam, are you familiar with how?
Yeah. I've seen them. I've watched enough Watch Mojo top 10 most violent video game deaths, so I know.
Yeah, that was one where I'm playing the game, I'm like, oh, it's the Simpsons thing. It's like, stop, he's already.
We all know the worst one though is the friggin' Noob Saibot Wishbone one.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, no. So
that's a good one.
We all know there's something to top it.
Fatalities.
But anyways, enough about Mortal Kombat. Let's, because unless Vish wants to talk about the amazing Ultimate Edition that he hates so much.
No, go with Chris first, because I do have a few things to say today.
I'm so excited for this. Normally you don't have too much to say, so I'm like building up to it.
Well, it works out nicely because I'm going to be honest, we have nothing else to talk about, so...
yes, we do. We have lots of things. God.
Go Madden.
Oh God.
You are on notice, sir. Another Madden reference, and I'm booting you.
First, it's a mute for 10 minutes, then it's a boot. We have to do.
Fair enough. I got to do proper mod rules. You're right.
All right, I'll go. Because I've actually played a few games, which is
shocking for you.
Yeah, it's not shocking. That's what I do.
Did you play an EA football game at all?
No, I didn't. I did not. So I did play through...
On the stream, people can see me hovering the mute button right now, and it's getting so tempting.
It's just like...
It was too easy to do.
No, it's not. It's actually really easy to avoid. I don't know if you know this.
Okay, go ahead, dude.
Anywho, so I've got 3 games to talk about. The first one, and I'm going to go in order of like least important to most important, I guess, which is kind of hard to say because I enjoyed them all. I played through a game that I have on Steam, but also grabbed on Switch during Black Friday because it was 99 cents. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know, right? It was like 90% off. It's an indie game, so it's like normally $14 or something. It was on for I think $1.49 actually, to be honest. It's called AER, Memories of Old.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting game. It kind of gave me Skyward Sword vibes if you never did a single fight. It's only puzzles and exploring. You're a girl, and the crazy part of this is the polygon count was purposely left a specific way. Think like Virtua Fighter when I say polygon count, like the way that the characters look, but they did it in a way that was beautiful. Like when there's a waterfall, there's all these like pieces of polygons coming out of the water at the bottom of the waterfall to show
like the
foam.
Lego movie when they had the Lego pieces doing the
Yeah,
water.
think Lego, only they went like more the Virtua Fighter way, I guess.
Huh.
It's so it like worked beautiful, and it's all bright blue and everything. Because what happens is you're a girl and you're living in the sky where everything is islands in the sky because the entire world was destroyed. And there's only 5 people left, and you're one of 5, which is crazy. And you are the last, I can't remember what it's called, but basically you can turn into a bird. So when you jump in the air and you're outside,
you're Nelly Furtado.
Yeah, you're Nelly Furtado. Perfect. Way to ruin the game so quickly, Adam.
Only that way, right? Or do you do more?
Well, actually, sorry, I should double check. Do you know where your home is?
Actually, no. There's a settlement you have to keep going to, but I don't know if that's actually where this chick lives. It's possible, but it's a game where they do say the girl's name, and I don't even. It's like Aku or something is your name, something along those lines. But either way, you need to just go to
Samurai Jack.
No,
it's definitely not.
No, definitely not. No. But all the game is that you have been tasked with defeating one god, or like stopping one god who called the Void, who's going to destroy the rest, because I guess that's what destroyed the world. And if you don't do what you need to do, the Void will now destroy the islands in the sky, which one other god put up there to prevent humanity from dying in general. Plus a lot of animals and stuff are up there too. But it's really cool because when you're on the islands and you jump, if you press the jump button again, you turn into a bird. But then you can fly around. It's the best. It's really weird to say, the best bird mechanics in a game I've ever played. And that's why I say, yeah, like when I say Skyward Sword, do you remember there was the part when you would be on the birds and flying around?
I got maybe an hour into Skyward Sword. So unfortunately, that's why I really want that game to be released.
It's a pretty bad Zelda game.
It's not a great Zelda game, and it's even worse.
It needs a Switch port so bad. It needs a redo so bad.
Yeah, that would benefit so much.
I remember you saying Skyward Sword, like you gave it a 10 when
it's not a 10. Yeah, looking back, it's not, especially the mechanics, because you got to use the very specific things. Let's just say a lot of Zelda games, I crave every few years to go back, even just to play it for a few hours, because I just miss the game. I haven't had that with Skyward Sword once.
Yeah, like if they bring it back to Switch with proper controls without the motion bullshit, you could probably salvage it as a pretty nice game.
Yes,
that is one game I really and for
they'll do it.
It's going to happen.
Next year is the 35th anniversary for Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it is.
So there's a big theory they're going to do like a Legend of Zelda All-Stars collection kind of thing and bring a few games to Switch in one big package like they did with Mario. It'll suck because it'll probably be time limited and all the other Nintendo bullshit, but
because Nintendo is so nice to their customer base.
No, but I mean
I think what we did with Twilight Princess was fine. I think like that was fine.
Yeah, but we didn't go out of its way to like try to like innovate stuff. Like Skyward Sword was like, hey, let's completely go nuts with this motion control thing. It's like, guys, we tried Red Steel. It failed horribly. Like you can't do that consistently.
You couldn't hit certain enemies unless you were at a very specific angle, and it was hard to pull off. Like it wasn't easy. You had to play the game standing up. If you're sitting down, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Anybody who played Kinect games that were solely Kinect games knows too.
Yes.
Like Steel Battalion and Sonic Free Riders. Like sometimes motion controls just don't work.
No. I'm not a big fan of motion controls, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. I remember when I first saw it, I was like mind blown. This is awesome.
Very pretty.
When we had a Mortal Kombat and a Prince of Persia game, like you did certain gestures to make certain moves. Like that's awesome. But I'm going back. I'm like, that's not really playable because
No, it's a gimmick.
It's almost like work rather than playing.
Yeah, it's a work. Yeah, no, it's great for things like Wii Sports. Let's be honest. That's what it was for, and that's all we used it for.
It's good for games where you're specifically going for the gimmick.
Yeah.
But like a hardcore game, no, you couldn't do that.
No.
Yeah, no, I
Anyway,
I agree with that.
So this AER game, it had way better flight controls than anything I've played where you're like you're not a plane because it's not like fluid.
I was about to say
like,
Microsoft Flight Simulator would like to have a word.
no. But where you're playing as an animal or something that's flying, a character, because you actually have to press a button to flap your wings to go faster sometimes. But like, I mean, you can like fly up in the air, press the jump button again, you turn back into a person doing a dive. And then press a button again and you turn back into a bird. And you actually had to like fly through certain objects in the sky and everything like that. And it was incredible. Like it actually was so well designed that that's the best part of the entire game. Also, as a kind of a, not a spoiler, but just as a note here, I finished the entire game beginning to end, all achievements in 4 hours. So I did it today, like literally this morning. Like it's what I did in bed. Like it's how I woke up. But the game, there's no battles. So there's 3 temples. You go in, solve some puzzles, talk to a god who gives you the remaining part of their soul. You collect 3 pieces or 3 souls or whatever the hell it is that you get from them, their energy. And then you go to the final boss. The final boss isn't a boss because like I said, there's no combat. You just do the final bit in the final dungeon. You get to the boss and it's pure cutscene and then it's over and it's open-ended. Kind of, I'll say it was kind of lackluster for an ending, so to speak, but you really only play this for the visuals because of how it looks and the flight mechanics and then puzzle solving. It's just a quick 4-hour puzzle game that looks incredible. Like I was blown away with how I posted the pictures on Steam because Nintendo Switch got an update 2 days ago. If you plug your Switch into the computer, you can just upload your screenshots right to your computer with the press of a button.
What took so long for that to come out?
Well, nobody has that. Like
I was going to say it's not really a
PC.
common thing.
No, like everywhere else, you have to post to Twitter. Xbox has it. If you post to Xbox, you can open the Xbox app on your computer because it's Microsoft, obviously, and then you can save them. This, you literally plug it in and you go into the album on your Switch and say, copy to computer, and it just opens up on your computer like you've attached a USB key.
And keep in mind, too,
It's
the
crazy.
Switch is the size of a tablet, whereas the PlayStation is the size of a fucking mid-tower PC. So
yeah, you wouldn't be able to. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense with any other console. The Switch, you can't do it docked. You have to literally pull the Switch out, plug in the USB-C cord into your computer. But I mean, that's just the charging cable because it's USB to USB-C, right? So I did that today for the first time and uploaded all my screenshots from AER. Took seconds compared to normal. So you can see the pictures I'm talking about on Steam if you guys are interested. Just beautiful looking game. Crazy, amazing, beautiful looking game.
Awesome.
Played
means
that
us.
today.
You guys aren't special. The viewers aren't special enough.
Yes, I'm talking to the other hosts of the show. I mean, you can find me, Jin and Chris, on Steam. It's pretty easy.
It's not hard to find.
No, I'm everywhere. Anything you
How
search
do you know?
Jin
How do you
and
know
Chris,
there are more
that's
Jin
me.
and Chris's?
Because I looked. There was nobody else.
All right, everybody get on it. Jin and Chris. Lots of Jin and Chris's on Steam.
Dude, I love friends on all of these platforms. I don't care who you are. I just love having people.
As long as you give him Jin virtually or IRL, he's fine.
If there was only
yes, if you
virtual
want to be my
Jin
friend, it
currency,
costs Jin. Oh my god, I'd be so drunk all the time. So the other game, because I've noticed on Game Pass, I totally forgot I only have my Xbox because it's the Game Pass subscription stuff. And Game Pass, much like Netflix, has games leave every month. Now, there's like 25 games they add, but then they'll be like, oh, these 10 to 15 games are leaving. So I always look at the list just to make sure, because it's kind of like, okay, I have this month to play this and then it's gone. Normally there's been nothing I don't really like. It's some games I don't care about. However, there was one I wanted to play this month. So I loaded it up yesterday, installed it, and beat it yesterday, because again, it's also a shorter game. I have finally played Untitled Goose Game.
nice.
Vishal, I don't think you've played this one. Adam, did you ever play Untitled
I
Goose
never
Game
got
or
around
not?
to playing it, but I've seen so many videos
Oh.
of it that I'm pretty sure I've gotten like the contact high from it.
Okay. Good fucking god, it is the fucking funniest shit to play. Vishal, do you know of this game?
I
you
know
heard
which
of it?
one. The Goose
Yeah.
basically causes mayhem.
Yes. And there's actually just a to-do list where it's like untie a boy's shoes, make him fall over, steal his glasses, go to the store, steal some new glasses, give them to the kid so the store owner yells at him. That's it. Like that's one item on the to-do list. It doesn't say all that. You have to figure it out, but it gives you like get the boy in trouble, and that'd be it. And you have
The
to
gist
figure
is
out how.
be a dick.
The Goose.
Yeah.
Or as they say, be a goose.
I did that game. I did almost all the achievements even. I think I only played like 6 hours total, and that's because I was trying to do everything. There's some funny shit that they've got as achievements that you can do, and it's just like, holy shit, like funny ass crap. So good. The only ones I didn't do were speed runs. There's like where you have to do the entire to-do list before 7 minutes is up when these church bells ring. And I hate speed run achievements because I get so fucking nervous that I never pull them off. So I said, fuck that, I'm not doing it. I mean, there's not much to say about this game, except I was actually surprised how fucking pretty it is. Because again, it's got a specific art style.
It's almost like a graphic, like comic book sort of, like almost like a webtoon in a way.
Exactly.
It looks like
And
something
when
we
you-
would have seen on like Flash back in the day. Which, by the
Yeah.
way, rest in peace, Adobe Flash Player.
Adobe Flash is going. Yeah, it's gone. Wait, is it gone or is it going?
I think it's
In a
either
couple days.
like gone, or it's literally like about to be. Like I think
Yeah,
today
like
today
we're
was
right
the
at
day.
it. Yeah.
From what I see, all the updates I've done on any computer I own, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. Yeah. R.I.P. there. Eh? The funniest thing is like the Goose, like the things you can do, like you can lower your head, honk. You can like go up to a guy who's sipping tea, ring a bell that's near him, and it makes him spill his tea and fall over. And you're like, idiot. Like, I don't know. And the Goose's ass, this is so weird to say, but when you're walking and he's waddling up, his ass is like his whole body. And it's just this like waddling thing. And it makes me laugh so hard that I had to like put the controller down for a minute because I looked like an idiot. And my mom came into the room because I'm staying with my parents for a little bit. And she was like, why are you laughing? And I tried to explain to her about the Goose and how funny he was. And like, as a 37-year-old man, never try to explain to your mom why playing a game as a goose and you think the Goose is funny makes you seem like a normal human being. It doesn't.
I mean, I don't think any
it
of the
doesn't
three of
work.
us are pretty normal. So
This is
This
gonna
is true.
go into what I have to say tonight.
Yeah. But anyway, so I played Untitled Goose Game because it was leaving Game Pass. I think it leaves on the 15th this month. Adam, I don't know if you have your subscription still or whatever.
I actually
but
canceled
if
it
you
because
want
I
to
haven't
give
been
it
using it in a while. Of course, now the controls
yeah.
back on it, I might have to get it again. But then again, Cyberpunk is now in my vision, so I probably shouldn't.
Control, I've heard, is pretty short, but again, if you're doing God of War,
Because like I'm looking at the list now, I really want to play Valhalla as well.
mm-hmm.
Oh fuck, that's so.
No, not Assassin's
Wait,
Creed.
not Assassin's Creed. Yeah, it's like a cyberpunk. Is it bartending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's eventually going to go for under $10 on Steam or something. So I'll
Oh
get
yeah,
to it.
for sure, for sure.
Very talented bartender. So, boom.
Yeah. Chris can attest. I'm a really good bartender. And by
You
good
are,
bartender, I mean I'm good at just giving him liquor.
Vishal can also attest because you made him fall asleep on his own couch at his own house party while we were still there. So yeah, you're good at it, man. You're good at it.
I didn't fall asleep that night. I blacked out. There's a difference.
Okay, so great.
So I'm
bartender.
an even better bartender.
Even better.
Yes.
But yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to play Untitled Goose Game, I don't know if it ever gets added to PlayStation Plus or it goes for $5.
I'm waiting for that day too.
Yeah, if it goes on PlayStation Plus or it goes for $5 or something, like pick it up. Like,
by the way, speaking
even
of
though you'll only
PlayStation Plus, you know what really grinds my gears? People who bitch every month. Oh, I don't like these games. I'm like, they're fucking free. Try
they're
them.
free. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we're
I
getting
grabbed all
we
the
got
games
3
from this
games
one.
this month.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
why
I grabbed them all.
complain?
What do I do?
Even if they weren't. Like even if they weren't. They didn't cost you
No,
anything,
I
and
would
you can
say-
turn them on
yeah.
anyway, and you might find something you like that you didn't know you'd
Give
like.
some quality, I would say at least.
Well,
some
this month is
quality.
actually pretty decent. Like, Just Cause 4 is just good, like, stupid sandbox fun. Worms is
Yeah.
Worms. You can never go wrong with Worms. And
And
Rocket
Worms is a
Arena,
brand new
Rocket
game.
Arena is good for Fortnite folks. So it's another free
Yeah.
Fortnite if you guys want to sink another 10, 20 hours into something, right? So it's actually a pretty good month.
Yeah, the Worms game, like the day it released on PS Plus is also its release date. Like that's a brand
Yeah, they pull a
new
Fall
game.
Guys in a Rocket League, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's a 32 player battle royale Worms game. I think I haven't looked into it yet, but I did grab it on the PlayStation for sure. Anyway, so
By the way, Vish, even if unless actually, do you have PlayStation Plus now or no?
I got it back.
yes,
Yeah.
he does.
Go on the app, like download the app on your phone, and you can download all the PS5 ones. So when you ever do get the console, you'll have all these free games in your library because you can still download them. Or you can still buy them and they get
Yeah,
tied
do
to
it.
your account, but you just don't obviously play them until you get a new console.
PS3 anymore or no?
No, the PS3 they took out, I think, like sometime either early this year or last year. They stopped doing free PS3 games. I don't even think they do
Okay.
Vita. No, they
Same
don't
as
even do
Vita.
Vita games anymore. It's just PS4 and PS5 now.
No, Vita's out. Yeah. Which I mean makes sense. Like you got to kind of move forward with your player base. So the final game, which is my favorite of these ones, because it's actually like more like the other two games were just small indie games. This one I'm not done yet. I'm halfway, but I've finally started playing Uncharted 4 because of the PS Plus collection on PS5.
And that's the first one you went
Holy
with?
shit.
Oh, far.
Yeah, because I know it's a little bit shorter, and I know that my number 2 will
That is
actually be
true.
God of War, so I'll be playing it probably right after
How
you,
far,
Adam. Yeah,
how
because
far into Uncharted are you right now?
so there's 22 chapters, and I'm on chapter 12, so I'm a little past, I think, halfway.
Yeah, no.
I'm at the market. I just started at a market where I'm going to find a
That's
tower.
a good level.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm loving it. The game is Uncharted. I was really worried because the cover art for Uncharted, I saw the way they, the cover of the DVD or the case where it's Nathan Drake and he's like covered in water and his head's down. When I saw that, I was like, I get they were trying to go for better graphics, but that doesn't look like Nathan Drake anymore. Like I was really worried.
It looked really dark, but it turned to be a lot funnier than they displayed it as.
Yeah, inside the game, he looks just like Nathan Drake. It looks like Uncharted 3, where they upped the graphics up to 11. Like they just fucking floored it. So it's perfect. It's amazing.
It's still not as good as the person who deep faked the one of the scenes in the game and replaced it with Nathan Fillion's face, and it looks so good.
Oh,
The thing is yeah, I was actually thinking about that because I've seen that deep fake, and when I was playing the game, and anytime you see Nathan Drake, like where his face, you can't see it because maybe he's facing away from the camera. It looks like Nathan Fillion. Like it's not even a coincidence. Like I swear now that they used him. Like there's no other explanation because I see it. I'm like, that's Nathan Fillion. Like what the fuck? Oh God. But anyways, the game itself is fantastic. It's making me realize I missed out on a lot of games on PS4 clearly because I'd only played Horizon. I played Spider-Man through PS Now, but yeah, like I'm now like this is just getting me stoked to move forward with this and like hit God of War and other stuff like that because man, this is such a good game. It's not like they did much different from Uncharted 3 or 2. The story is better to me than 3. It feels a lot better than 3. It feels longer than 3.
I think what really got me better with 4 than all the other ones is that I feel like this one definitely didn't overdo the shooting gallery. Because some of the original games had way too much shooting, whereas this one has a pretty nice balance. And I think that's what also helped for a lot with me on this one. Because I really,
this
compared
one
to the other
definitely
3,
feels better.
I fucking love this game, and the other 3 I think were pretty meh. This one was fucking great.
Oh,
Yeah, this one is great.
What did you give Uncharted 4?
If I gave it a rating, it was a 9. Like I fucking love this game.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, I'm
I have to admit, one of my favorite parts of the game is I think it's like chapter 3, and you're at home with Elena, and he's like, "Oh, I'll beat your high score."
Yeah,
and
the
you
Crash
fucking
one.
boot up a PS1 and play Crash Bandicoot.
awesome.
Did you do the little bit where he's shooting targets in the attic?
Yes, and I didn't realize there was an achievement to get 4 because when I was shooting, I'm like, "This is an achievement. There's no fucking way there's not an achievement in this room." Because as an achievement hunter or a trophy hunter, I guess for PlayStation, I can tell the situations where like, now there's a trophy related to this. I shot all the targets, what I thought, but and then nothing happened. I'm like, okay, I guess there's not. Apparently there's a fourth target I missed and it is a trophy. I was like, fuck, I knew it. But it's Uncharted. You can load up chapters like that when you're done, right? So I'm going to go back and grab that one when I'm done. I'm actually getting every treasure, every journal entry, every optional conversation. Like I'm going to 100% this game. I'm not going to beat it on crushing difficulty and all that. I did that with Uncharted 2. I platinumed that game, but to beat it on crushing difficulty, you can just load up the last mission and do that. You don't have to do the whole game. They changed it for Uncharted 4. You have to go to crushing difficulty and play the entire game.
So you're completing it for your version of completing it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to platinum this, but I'm going to beat it on moderate, which is just normal. And I'm going to be happy with that. That's enough. But yeah. Like the game visually looks beautiful. The story is, I want to know what happens.
I imagine
next.
they gave it a slight
really
bit overhaul too for the PS5 as well. Do they have different modes for it, like how God of War did for me?
No, they haven't updated it yet. And that's weird when you think about it, because
I think Uncharted 4 would be like one of their priorities too, because that is one of their flagships.
Yeah, because with God of War, actually, Adam, you should probably check that, because I think there was an update either there or it's coming where they're updating it for 4K 60 for God of War. I think it's called Update 1.08 or something. That might be something you should look at, because I know for God of War, that's something that for the PS5 they were going to do, because it can handle it. I don't remember which mode you have to be in. It could be, I don't know. Are you seeing 30 frames when you play God of War right now?
Well, I've switched between. I think there must be a 60 frame mode, because there is a performance and a resolution mode. So
yeah, because I know that they were coming out, because apparently the PS5 for that game can handle 4K 60 no problem. And I saw a video of it on YouTube, but I don't know if that's something that's coming.
I'm just going to assume that's what that is, because it does mention when I put in the performance or resolution mode that it is 2160p, which is 4K. So
yeah. So it's got to be that, because if they tack that onto the performance mode, that would be misleading.
And Uncharted would be a really good game to have like the go in between.
Yes, I saw.
If only you could automatically like set it. If only you could be like, okay, if there's a flag for a battle, then it switches to performance. But for the rest of the game, like the traversing and stuff, if it could stay in resolution mode, that would be amazing. That's another gimmick that'd be great. Like if all the non-crazy combat modes would be always in resolution, so you get the 4K when you're doing traversing, but as soon as the battles hit, it just flips to 1080 or whatever it need, or 1440, whatever it needs to maintain 60. That'd be great.
Yeah,
it would be. I would be for that, but that would be amazing.
Because you get the beauty when you have time to see the beauty, and then when it's time to worry more about what you're doing, then it just switches to the frame rate, so it feels better. It might jar a few people, because again, that transition from 30 to 60 can be a little bit weird on the eyes the first couple of minutes.
I don't think it's that bad, because
it is if you do it next to each other. If you literally start playing a game in 30 frames, you don't notice it, but as soon as you switch to 60, you notice.
No, but it's almost it's a game where you are going from a cutscene to actual gameplay. That's why I don't.
Well, if they did it like that, you wouldn't probably notice it as hard. But like I literally just to test it when I played God of War, I switched from performance to resolution and back. Oh, it's blatantly noticeable.
It's like, for example, I'll say with the OG Resident Evil games on the PlayStation, cutscenes were a different quality than actual gameplay. So that's why.
Well, but I think it's a different story. You're going to flag, like, because you're going to have to do that constantly. But it's not just like Square games where instead of playing the game, they just hit this movie file and we play that instead. This time it's like, okay, game, completely change settings and completely redo this, do this, do this, do that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that would have to do to switch it so constantly on a flag. Obviously, you can do it in the settings, but I mean, to do it that instantaneously, to flag it, like, that's a lot of extra coding that I think they probably don't want to do.
They don't want to do. No, not for a game that's been out for that long, no. But that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
I hope one day we get that kind of stuff where you can have the balance.
Me too.
Honestly, I think it's no different than changing from cutscene to gameplay. So
it's nothing near the same, because when
it's different
in the old days when you're going to cutscenes, it's not even the game. It's literally like they're putting in whatever it is. If it's a movie file, an MP4, an MKV, like whatever it might be, like it's load that. Like it's not actually like
Yeah.
transitioning in gameplay, so it's not simultaneous.
Yeah, it's different because you're not like moving left and right, and like the game engine doesn't have to think while those cutscenes are playing. As soon as you have to think, but also change all the settings, it can be taxing.
There's definitely a difference
Real
between switching
taxing.
from gameplay to
Yeah.
cutscene and then switching from gameplay to also gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Switching
and it's-
resolution, frame rate, like texture qualities, all of that while you're moving, something would break. Something would fucking break.
I guess we're gonna have to wait till the PS6 comes out so it's fully balanced for everything.
Cyberpunk, what the
Okay,
fuck? Why didn't
maybe.
you do this too? You had 8 years.
That's true. They did. Yeah, because I mean, I can tell you guys as a PC player where I've had only 60 frames for like 7 years, when I see 30 frames, it's jarring because you're so used to a
It depends on
specific
the game,
speed
but
with
yeah.
gameplay. Oh yeah, like for sure, like Uncharted. Besides the actual shooting, yeah, all the exploring, finding treasures,
Anything
climbing,
first
all that, who
person,
cares?
yeah, no, 60 is a must now. Like,
Yes.
you cannot
Yeah,
play a first person game at 30 frames anymore now that we have the ability to play at 60.
Yeah, even Miles Morales, when I was playing that in resolution mode where it was 4K 30. Oh no, sorry, it's 4K 60 and 4K 30, but 4K 30 had ray tracing on. I played it and it's fine. When you're playing the game normally, it's fine. As soon as you start web slinging, like I couldn't do it for the 60 frames because it just felt like for some reason you're not going like I know you should be going. Like I could
I mean,
just
if you
feel
never
it.
play with the
it's
60
not
frame mode, you probably don't pay attention to it as much.
Oh no.
But the second you
No.
see it
No.
on the
It's
other
only
side,
if you've gotten
then you know.
I probably wouldn't notice unless I'm on YouTube. Like,
No.
yeah, the frame rate I don't really notice as significant.
Because that's the thing too. Everybody pretends
Yeah.
like 60 frames is going to be this automatic better thing. I'm like, well, if you really want just the absolute like best looking thing, you can play as long as you start it in 30 and never switch. You'll never notice the difference.
You'll never
especially
know.
if you've always been a console gamer. If you're a PC gamer that's used to 60, then you kind of notice some things. But
It's not even visual. It just feels different. Like it feels like when I'm pressing a button, it's not doing it the way normally it does it for me. Because it even with 60 frames, what people don't know is that inputs are also connected to frame rate. So when you press a button and you're only going at, say you're going at 10 frames a second, when you press that button, it doesn't happen as quickly as you normally would. That's why people normally do first person shooters in like 120 frames per second, but at a really low graphic quality because it's about the speed of everything happening. Which apparently if you play games in 120 frames per second, it just ruins games for you because you can never play a console again unless the newer ones. Which
I mean,
I'm hoping I never.
as far as I
actually
know,
do.
there are some games that Xbox is shooting 120 for. They're shooting for Halo's multiplayer to be 120.
Yeah, even PS5's now doing it. Borderlands 3 is getting an update.
That's going to be a lot of bandwidth use for that.
No, it's
No.
they're using the exact same. It's just they're
Yeah, it's
turning
the same
some things
bandwidth.
down, right?
It's just your screen and how quickly the information is going from your processor or the GPU to the screen.
That's what that SSD is
all it
for.
is. That's what the SSD will help a lot. Yeah, because even Borderlands 3 got an update for PS5 and Xbox Series X, and it has a 120 frames per second mode. And surprisingly enough, it has... Oh, no, it doesn't have that mode. I don't think on Series S. Or does it? But it's just a really low resolution. I can't remember. But either way, PS5, you can play Borderlands 3 at 120 frames per second. It just boops it down to 1080p instead of 4K. Which, I mean, you know, pick your poison. What do you want? Do you want it to feel really quick and smooth? Or do you want it to look like super pretty? So, yeah. Either way, Uncharted is a fantastic game. And I can't wait to finish it. And then once I've done it, the PlayStation, I already know I'm moving on to God of War. That is the game I will jump into right away after.
For myself, for me, the Uncharted series is 2, 4, 1, 3.
That's my numbers actually so far too. That's actually very accurate.
Mine is 4, and then I don't care about the other 3.
Hey,
If I had started with Uncharted 4 and just that was my first thing, I would have been like, man, this series is awesome.
See, that would, starting with 4 and then playing the older ones after would be like playing the new God of War and then going and playing God of War 1, and you'd be like,
It'd be like playing Final Fantasy 13. Oh wait, shit! You shouldn't play the newer ones.
no, that doesn't
For
exist.
God of War, number 2 would have been my second favorite had it not been for that ending. That ending drove me crazy.
Can't be worse than Halo 2's ending.
Oh yeah,
Can't be worse than Halo 2's ending.
What happened?
Halo 2 didn't end. It was just like,
That's the
haha,
problem.
Halo 3, get ready.
Literally, Halo 2 ends with like the Master Chief being asked, like, what are you gonna do? Finish this fight. Credits. It's like, what?
That's
And then the third game didn't come out till the
Literally
next
the
system.
last line of Halo 2 is finish this fight, and that's it.
so
it's
God of
horrible.
War. Have you ever seen that ending or no?
Oh, I have.
Yeah, that one drove me fucking crazy because I loved that game, and all of a sudden it's like, your son has come for revenge. Cut. It's like, no. I was fucking furious from that ending.
I mean, it made sense from that standpoint, because, like, trilogy, it's like, yeah, no, trilogy's got to end with the big one, so.
Yeah.
But
Guys,
enough,
I can't
enough
lie.
about us.
I was just going to say, I can't lie, but I'm super excited to hear Vishal talk about what he's been doing, because it's
He's
I'm
been
selfish.
buttering
It's
us up
more-
in the
it's
Discord pre-podcast, so.
Not just that, it's something that he's played that neither of us have played and we're both interested in. How?
Simple.
Anyways.
So friends, unlike
Whoa, hold the phone. Don't call us friends. Come on now.
I wasn't referring to you, bitch.
Yeah, we're work acquaintances.
So unlike Chris and Adam, who thought I was referring to them as friends, so I actually went out for Black Friday last week, because I've been doing really well, and I have been.
Am I getting to have a guess here then?
Go ahead.
You're going to talk about a certain sequel that has a very polarizing opinions among the gaming community, aren't you?
That I haven't started that one yet.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be next.
Oh, it's not that one. Okay, that's surprising.
However, I feel that's gonna be done in 2021. However,
Oh yeah, because it takes you 6 years to play anything.
pretty much. So
Especially the game he's about to talk about.
I got 2 games. This is the one that's currently being played right now.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. That's right.
Yes.
Holy fuck. Oh my god. It is basically a mix of Red Dead Redemption and Metal Gear Solid, but as a samurai in essentially medieval Japan. It's based on the Mongol invasion of Japan, which is the first documented attempted invasion of Japan. The characters are awesome. The side missions are you want to do them because you want to be able to gain more skills and learn new experiences so you can just do more awesome shit. It's very violently satisfying. Like, you're stabbing and slicing people like, oh yeah, that was good. It's fucking great. I think the storyline is going to pay off very nicely. The side characters are pretty good too. They each have their own attributes, personalities. They each like contribute to the story and the progress of it. I would say about 7 hours into it. But like I said, it's just been really cool. I've been wanting to so you essentially you find side missions. When you complete an area, it expands on the map. And it's like, there'll be a question where you're like, undiscovered area. So you kind of were like, oh, why is this undiscovered? What's going on here? And also, like, there's levels where you follow foxes who are adorable, and then you at the end of the level, when you actually follow the fox to the destination, you can pet the fox like it's Diamond Dog. And it's like, I like
Yeah,
it.
the beauty of what Ghost of Tsushima does is that it doesn't, like, as anybody watching the stream right now, there's no mini-map. There is a map if you hit the start button, but there's no mini-map. Yeah. The game leads you through what it does. Like, you can see the wind blowing in the stream right now. That's how it directs you.
It doesn't happen that often. Like, sometimes you have to go back to the map. just to make sure you're going in the right direction.
Sure, but it does a better job of letting you just explore at your own pace rather than be like, here's a million shining, glowing fucking things on your screen to tell you where to go.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed.
I thought there was a button. You press that causes the wind to possibly show up.
Yeah, no, that does happen. However, I find it's easier just to go to the map just to make sure you can point in the right
Not to
direction.
mention too, in all honesty, like I would rather play the game where I'm just going. Like I don't even really want to use the map. That would be my goal when I play the game. Also, I would be calling an audible and not using the English voicing. I'd have to listen to the Japanese voicing for that game. But
100%.
I won't, because plain and simple, I won't put that effort into subtitles.
For me, because the dialogue, and I've seen with voice acting, like obviously, like Chris knows now from playing Yakuza games. Good lord, Japanese voice acting knows how to strike emotion in their voices.
No, this game, the English voice acting I find it's actually pretty.
Oh, I'm not denying that it's probably really good, but I just know that the Japanese will be that much better because for whatever reason they're just so good at conveying things.
I fully agree with you. I watched one Indian movie where it's called Gully Boy, and it's about the underground hip hop scene in Mumbai. The rap battles in that movie were translated to English. The subtitles were correct, but the actual translation compared to the actual Hindi rapping, completely night and day difference of quality, because it's like it sounds terrible when you read it in English, but when it's done in Hindi, it flows very nicely.
Well, also too, native tongue also does make a lot more sense. So,
yeah, no, it's
fun fact that that movie about the underground rap scene in Mumbai is based on my life. Just fun fact.
Go on.
I used to run the underground scene. I was called the Eminem of Mumbai.
I think this is more like Scary Movie, where you were you were George.
Oh. Say what?
Scary Movie did their little bit on 8 Mile. I think it was Scary Movie 3 they did it.
Yeah.
And isn't it Andy Samberg that was that? Or am I mixing him up? No, I think I'm mixing him up with somebody else.
No, wasn't Andy Samberg. It was fuck. Who was that? I can't remember.
But I think, it was such a piss poor fucking representation. But that was the point. It was supposed to be funny. The guy's like,
yes,
my skin is white, but my neck is red. I put Miracle Whip on my Wonder Bread.
Wait, is it the Andy Samberg one where he's like doing like a mockumentary?
Yeah, no, I'm mixing. It definitely wasn't Andy Samberg with Scary Movie.
No, not in Scary Movie, but he did have a mockumentary.
Oh, do you remember Scary Movie 2, where they had like a ghetto Christmas album, and one of the songs is called "I'm Dreaming of a White Woman"? I thought that was the only part in that movie that actually made me laugh, because the rest of that movie, and I'm fucking 17 watching, I was like, wow, this is fucking terrible.
All right, let's go back to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's like, Adam, you have the disc version of PS5, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so once it's done, I'll let you borrow it. But so far I am about 7.5 to 8 hours into it, and I know there's not a lot to go by it. But actually, for video games there is.
Let's see.
It's a good amount.
It's the best game of 2020.
Yeah, it'll probably take you around hours. Looks like it'll take you around 30 to 40, because you're not too crazy on the completioning.
I'm probably gonna play hours. And from what I've seen, you can even finish it in 20.
Like the average for main story only is about 24 hours. So
yeah, so I'm playing in what's it called, in easy mode, because again, I'm a man of my 30s and I just don't have time to deal with the bullshit. It's just so great. This actually could, if this was released, if a game like this was released in the series before Uncharted would not succeeded.
Uncharted would have succeeded.
No, if this was released, Uncharted would not have, because
okay. Well, here's the thing: this game would not exist in the PS3. This game cannot be done on PS3.
Yeah.
I think it could not
with that open world. It couldn't.
I don't know.
It'd be
Yeah,
like Grand Theft Auto 4 level,
it's
like visuals and world.
it's sincerely it's so well done. It's beautiful. It's really smooth, and I'm this is a game that frankly I don't think it should have been released on the PS4. I think it should have just gone straight to PS5 because the higher frame rate, the loading speeds, everything would have benefited so much from the
Strongly
PS5
disagree with that. Every console's life cycle has to end with 1 or 2 games that show you just the full potential that thing had. And that's what Last of Us Part 2 and that's what Ghost of Tsushima are. They're basically saying, this is the best we can give you. Actually, Cyberpunk might also be that too. But like, those two games, the previous 2 games I mentioned are Sony's games, like within their own studios, where Cyberpunk is going to be like the one big third-party one. That's like, this is the full capacity that these consoles can do.
And as Adam said,
plus
was the other game I had purchased on Black Friday. This, as you can see,
Last of Us Part 2.
It's not opened yet. I'm waiting until.
That's not abnormal for you, though. You generally have games that stay unopened for a long time for some reason.
No, this one is going to get played once Ghost of Tsushima is done. That's going to happen. I just Ghost of Tsushima. It was a unique. It was an original title and it was original concept. I really was intrigued. Like the trailer gave me goosebumps because, like, oh, this is fucking cool.
My favorite part about this game is the fact that they basically just went to Ubisoft and said, "You've had like 10 years to do an Assassin's Creed Japan game. Fuck you. We're gonna do it for you, and do it better."
Yeah,
man, I've only played Assassin's Creed 2 and 3. This one is.
Oh, after playing, Chris played Origins. I played just Odyssey, but he's played both. We both looked at Ghost of Tsushima and went, "This is legitimately what we want an Assassin's Creed Japan game to be."
100%, 100%. And Vishal, for your point where you were like that, this game should have like the PS5 upgrades. The good thing is that for this game, with just owning the PS4 version, apparently when you play it on PS5, they already have it set to play in higher frame rates and higher resolution. Yeah, apparently they've already got like the PS5 upgrade built into it.
That's the beauty
like,
too.
Right
a lot of those PS4 games that got put on PlayStation Plus or the collection or that are coming in soon, like a lot of these big games are going to have the update. Like I'm already preparing for when I get Cyberpunk. I'm going to play through one route, and then as soon as the update comes in and it's like really amazing, then I'm popping it in for a new run to try a different route. So
oh yeah, you got to. You'll have to.
I mean, if I ever get around to it when I still have Trails of Cold Steel, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and other things in the wing, but you know, we figure that out when we get to that point.
My backlog doesn't feel sorry for you.
I'm expecting like once Cyberpunk comes out, you're going to be like basically like MIA to the point.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that run is going to take me 2 months because from what I hear at how long you can spend in that game, I will test that theory.
So yeah,
people are saying, I put 80 hours into it, and I don't think I've even gotten close. I'm like, challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
So Vishal, how many side quests are you doing? Just curious with Ghost.
As I'm going in, if I see you'll see a question mark on the map, and it'll be like unknown area or like Uncharted area. I forget what it's called. So I'll just go in, and it's usually a quick mission. But then there's like missions like Mongol base. You must like defeat the Mongols and everything. Like those can be a little intense. It's really, I find in this game, it's really difficult to stay stealth.
Well, that's the reason for both sides, right?
Yeah. I find it's really.
Can you play multiple ways, like where you do half stealth, half fucking, well, not guns blazing, but swords blazing, kind of? Or do you have to build a specific type of...
It's probably called when you try to stealth and fail, then you gotta pull the other one out.
So you go stealth, kill somebody, and if you're found, you can hide, like in Metal Gear Solid. As I mentioned, there's a lot of influences of Metal Gear Solid, Uncharted, and Red Dead Redemption.
I would honestly probably play in the sense of I'll see how much I can take out stealthy, and then as soon as I get caught, it's like, all right, you want to do this? Let's fucking do this.
Nice.
But it's as I mentioned, it's very violently satisfying. Like when you kill someone, you're like, oh yeah, like you feel satisfied from it. Not just not like a psychopath or anything.
Why not?
Yeah, it's
Why
true.
not?
Why not?
Why not?
So yeah, so far, Ghost of Tsushima, amazing and arguably the best game on the PS4.
So
Or at
I
least
guess
the-
there's a good chance that by the time we get to our final show of the year, where we talk about our favorite games from the year, that probably is going to be high on that list for you. At least by the sounds of it,
Yeah.
from an early perspective.
It's like right now it is December 2nd. So I really feel I'll finish this game in about 2 weeks or so because after I'm done my usual daily workout, that's usually where I go to. So I'm like even yesterday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. I was playing it because
Look at this guy trying to make 4-hour sessions sound so big. I'll come back to you guys on like Saturday and Sunday when I say I put 20 hours into God of War and pretty much finished it.
Yeah, you'll be.
fair enough.
I feel like that's you finishing it.
No, but honestly, get Ghost of Tsushima. I feel like Adam, you would really love this game.
Oh, this is a game I
It's-
already intended on getting at some point. I think we all intended on getting it.
This is, yeah.
Yeah,
This game actually, when I saw it, was one that was my most anticipated game of this year, even more than Cyberpunk. When I saw it,
That's
I don't know why.
That's because you weren't
I have
me
no
and
idea why.
pre-order it 3 years ago.
this is true. This is
here's
true.
the problem.
Yeah.
One of those games for me this year was Avengers, and yeah, that didn't work out.
I told
Yeah.
you though. I gave you
Yeah, that didn't work out.
I gave you ample warning. Be like, look, guys, I think this is going to be shit.
Yeah.
I said that when the trailer came out, and I said it after I played the demo. I'm like, guys, this game is going to fucking flop. And
They should not
god
have
damn,
made that.
you know I don't like
like a
talking about how
game as a
much that I'm
service.
right, but god damn, I'm going to tell you how much I was right on that one.
What do you mean you don't like talking about when you're right? Fuck you. Fuck you. You love it.
What? You didn't know? There was no sarcasm in that statement at all.
Not
I am not capable of this thing you humans call sarcasm.
Meh.
Adam has become self-aware.
No, I'd be more like an HK-47 from Knights of the Old Republic. Be like, I just call you a meat bag over and over again and talking about killing you.
Meat bag.
Bitch, please.
Oh man, that's another thing. Now that Star Wars games are starting to become like decent again, at least in the eyes of the public, man, a new Knights of the Old Republic would be so much fun.
Have you
I want that
played
so
any,
much.
any extra of Fallen Order?
No,
or not?
I've put it down. I don't think I'm gonna put it back in.
Yeah, it's just not for you.
That's
Yeah,
disappointing.
I don't feel like putting it back in. She's not my type.
Nah. That's a sex reference.
You're like Chris Evans being like, I understood that reference.
I got it.
So yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Everyone who owns a PS4,
Or a PS5 at this point.
yeah, or buy it. Like if
I'm not
it's-
gonna lie. I may pick it up during, which is stupid because I'm not supposed to be buying games, but I might just pick it up because I don't listen to myself during,
Boxing Day.
excuse me, Boxing Week.
Yeah, it depends on,
digitally, if
how the
there's,
sale
like-
goes. Because lately they've been getting. This year's Boxing Day was kind of crap on, or not Boxing Day. Black Friday was kind of crap on the
Black Friday.
store. Like there wasn't a lot of great stuff on the store. There's
Yeah.
usually like one or two that you're like, ooh, that's a tough one to ignore. This year I'm like, I can wait. Fuck that.
The only good sale I saw, which it wasn't Steam, believe it or not. Steam had a couple good ones, but they were like Sims 4, which is available on EA Play and everywhere else and already like cheap. The only store I saw that had really good sales was the eShop, the Nintendo eShop, not for Nintendo games.
Not for Breath of the Wild,
No,
because that would
no,
never happen.
not for Nintendo games. But if you wanted like third-party games on the Switch, and things were like,
I've noticed that a lot. The e-store for Nintendo is usually really good with indie games when it comes to their pricing, but just
yeah.
they don't like ever discounting their own shit.
yeah, no,
They're happy to
yeah,
80% off everybody else's stuff.
yeah. There's a game I gotta pick up on Switch one day where it's Mario and the Rabbids.
Oh,
And-
dude, if you like XCOM, like that's fucking great.
I didn't realize that game was like XCOM. I was like, ew, Rabbids and Mario. Like, what is that for a 3-year-old? And then I looked at gameplay the other day. I'm like, the fuck? It's XCOM.
That is a mean game because I guarantee you there are a lot of parents that probably bought that for their kids, and the kid plays it and cries because it's so hard.
Yeah, I got to pick that up because that actually goes on sale a lot because it's made by Ubisoft.
Is that like SOCOM or?
No. XCOM is like this really like. You remember the game that Chris was talking about a couple weeks back that was like these animals like in this haunted forest kind of like tactical RPG thing?
Yeah, Mutant
Year Zero, I think it was.
Mutant Year Zero. Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's a top-down. It's almost like playing a board game in a sense, but it's blatantly
Dungeons and
hard. Like,
Dragons.
it makes you want to hate yourself because you're stupid and can't figure out how to kill people because it kills you constantly.
Everybody gets one move and then one attack action.
So imagine that
like a
level of
checkerboard.
difficulty under the guise of a really childish-looking game.
Yeah, Super Mario and the Rabbids. It should be easier.
Joke's on you.
But apparently I got to pick that up, and it goes on sale for like $10, down from $80 all the time because it's Ubisoft instead of Nintendo. So it's actually on sale. Probably grab that. Fuck, I got to stop buying games. Stupid podcast.
Was that the only thing you had, Vish?
So, one thing that happened this week that actually really bothered me.
Oh, so we're in vent territory now?
Yeah.
All right. So by the way, this is the end of the intro finally after like an hour and 10 minutes. So if you've been enjoying the stream so far, like all of zero of you that I think's watching the stream, or if you're just watching this on YouTube or checking us out on any audio platform, be sure to give us the thumbs up, whether it's the like on YouTube, subscribe to the channel for more stuff. If you're listening to an audio service, obviously, give us a rating if you can. Share it with all your friends if you're enjoying it. But this is the point where there is actually really no news to talk about. Look, I know there's some people that are going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? There's stuff to talk about. Okay. Let me go down the list of things on Reddit, like the game subreddit, that's like top for this week.
This guy has to get
Flash dying. PlayStation 2 games are running on Xbox Series S. Okay, that's just a hacking thing. Big deal. The 3060 Ti, which is basically just another graphics card. We already did that. Big thing. Microsoft Flight Simulator gets a VR upgrade. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia has a sharehold of SNK. So there's a lot of stuff that is news, but it's nothing we can talk about. So we really tried to find stuff. There's just nothing we can talk about. So instead, from this point forward until the show is over, it's vent session.
Yeah, I think you actually may appreciate this little bit of event.
Good.
So I don't want to mention the names, identity, or
no shit. If it's real people that we know, sure. Yeah. But I mean, we don't want to talk.
No. It's somebody you guys know. This is somebody I recently reconnected with about a month ago from back in the day.
Okay. So yeah, just keep it vague if you can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually wait for Chris to come back because he's having some technical difficulties.
Oh, is he now? Oh, sure enough, the Discord turns on. What do you know?
Yeah.
Tech difficulties on a podcast, impossible. Oh, everything's breaking.
So just for while Chris is coming back, I will mention about we were earlier discussing our favorite Disney animated movies, not just Pixar, but purely Disney.
This is vent session. Worst Disney movies.
Worst ones?
Yeah.
Shit. I'll let you start. What do you think is one that's just not that good?
I put myself on the thing there. I gotta really think quick. Chicken Little was one of them.
Yeah, it actually wasn't that. It's you know what? That is a Disney one. It's not a like a traditional Disney, but it
Chicken
is
Little
Disney.
was pretty shit. Oh, now I remember. Worst one ever, Jungle Book fucking 2.
I have never even seen that one.
Good. Don't.
I won't watch it.
Oh my!
There's no way I'd watch that.
That one is.
I'm scrolling through the list now, and I'm trying to see stuff I can find. Fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes. Atlantis is not the bottom 10. Fuck you. For some reason, everybody hates that movie, and I don't know why.
That movie was
Atlantis is
fantastic.
fucking
That's
awesome.
actually that might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's got a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 49%, which is the 7th lowest, I think.
What? No, fuck that.
That's
That
gross.
movie needs a
I'm not
live
gonna lie,
action
that's pretty
remake.
gross.
That's actually one that makes sense.
But they
that's great.
also Robin Hood is pretty low on that list too, which is also disappointing. So
Really? That's fucking stupid. Anyways, that was kind of like a thing to wait till you come back. You know what, Chris, do you have like your least favorite Disney animated movie?
Least favorite. Oh, jeez.
I'm starting to
I think one of
understand
my-
why this is actually harder than I thought, because now that I'm like past
Yeah.
like the bottom 15, I'm like, oh, these are all actually pretty good movies.
Yeah, they're
Like,
all good.
You know what? I will say one of my least favorite ones is Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is just
No, I
meh.
still
So
like
I guess
that
it's probably like it's almost like
Yeah.
it's almost like
it's
Thor:
just-
Dark World, where it's not like it's bad. It's just you didn't feel anything when you were done.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, that's
I feel like there's
Disney,
gonna be
has
an
at least a good track record of not usually releasing shit. It's just when it's bad, it's more like it's just nah.
I mean, like I have some ones that I don't really have an affinity to, like Cinderella. I think Cinderella's a great movie, but I never get like, oh man, I gotta throw that on in the background or something because, I mean, it doesn't relate to me at all. Like I think this story is kind of ridiculous, but that's just because it's an old fairy tale and that's what it is.
your mom didn't keep you in the attic when you were a child.
I fucking wish I was in the attic. That's the best place to be. No, like I mean, I have an affinity for all the ones. Like clearly, I like the Robin Hood, and I like the Great Mouse Detective, and all that. Where it's got like like it's more of a guy story, I guess. If it's not necessarily just for guys, but it has more of a guy feel. It's not a princess. Fox and the Hound. I like foxes. I like dogs. Perfect. Let's be friends. Like it's a very simple process to get there.
Two, I will say that are criminally underrated. Oliver and Company, which is actually the first movie I ever saw in theaters,
That's a good. Movie.
and what Goofy movie.
Goofy movie's fantastic. I used to have the soundtrack with my sisters. Yeah, with Powerline.
It's like,
that fucking guy.
Jonathan Young, who I miss the fact that our local convention doesn't have anymore because he used to always be at those things. He does a sick cover of that fucking song.
Really? Eye to Eye?
Yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah, he does a sick like pop rock kind of cover of it.
I gotta watch that movie again. Goofy movie is like normally whenever they have one of the main Mickey Mouse characters in the movies, it's like Donald Duck goes to fucking jail or some shit. I don't know, whatever the hell. Actually, no, that'd be great, but it doesn't exist. But usually those ones aren't as great because they haven't even thought of an original character. They're just grabbing somebody and throwing them in there. But a Goofy movie, fuck, that was like, it had heartwarming moments where like Max yells at Goofy and is like, I'm a teenager. I have my own life, Dad. And then Goofy's like, I'm just trying to be a part of it. I was like, what the fuck is this Disney movie doing to me right now? Yeah, what are
there
these
are two
feelings?
things that I remember from that movie. One, it tricked me into thinking waterbeds were cool.
That's a good
And
point.
two, the scene where they're bowling in Pete's like crazy fucking like mobile home, and he misses one pin and he makes his son go all the way over and just kick it with the most like pathetic looking kick ever. Just be like, boop.
That's a good scene.
And he's like,
That's a really good
strike.
That fucking motorhome. That's
it's
ridiculous.
like, a lot of people say like when you're a kid you sided with Max in that movie, but as you get older you're like, oh my god, Goofy's such a good dad. It's like,
yeah, like I think it's actually a really good realistic movie for just humanity, like for any son or father. Like, holy crap, that movie looking back on it is insane.
Yeah, it's a pretty good like
Even just
family
Max
message
like
movie
connecting
for sure.
with the girl.
But anyways, this is supposed to be vent
or a
session.
teenage guy having a crush.
This is supposed to be vent session. We're supposed to be angry at shit. So I'm actually going to let Vish do his thing now that Chris is back. So
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
as I mentioned, I recently reconnected with someone from back in the day, and we were talking. Things were fine, but then this person said a few things that actually really started to annoy me. It's like the whole thing. I was like, and I feel as representatives of the community, as people who have gone through this, as people who technically kind of still live with this idiotic, like fucking lack of better word, discrimination, I need to bring this up. because when I mentioned a few things, it's there. I'm being judged for it. I was watching Blood of Zeus, and I was telling this person like, "Oh, I'm just watching an anime on Netflix right now." It's like, "Oh, you watch anime? That's so creepy." I'm like,
Man, introduce him to
"Oh."
me. I'll be like, hey man,
Yeah,
you
I
want to
know.
see my fucking shelf?
I was like, "Okay,
Adam, you're so creepy.
I'm watching
mean,
an
that's-
anime. I'm not watching like, did I say I'm watching bondage porn or something? I
Hey,
get
hey,
that if
hey,
I
hey, hey, don't be kink shaming.
Both are good.
The other day, I was like, and this isn't like the first. This was like a while ago, but this was the first time that like I've heard like unnecessarily judgmental and ignorant shit about.
In the nerd culture
Like,
world, impossible. Doesn't happen.
so then I had mentioned just casually talking like, "Hope your day was well." I was like, "Oh yeah, my day was well." I went up for Black Friday. She's like, "Oh, what'd you get?" I was like, "Oh, I got some games because they usually come
Oh
cheap."
no,
I
did
was
this
like, "Oh, you're
motherfucker bitch about Last of Us?
No. Just let me get to it. You're gonna actually. I feel you're gonna rage even more about this.
All right, I'm
So
ready.
this person, I said, I'm like, yeah, I got a few games. Like, oh man, all you do is play games. Like, I don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a kid of the '80s. I'm obviously gonna be a gamer. It's like, I'm a kid of the '80s, and I know plenty of kids of the '80s. They grow out of it. They play games when they're younger, but they stopped.
Ah,
And then
so this guy's a
person had
fucking idiot.
yeah, no, it gets better. Then the person's like, "Oh, I guess it's just a phase. It's probably not. It's probably something you'll grow out of eventually." I'm just like,
So you talked
this
to
is
my dad.
Oh,
so
and my dad.
bad. I'm literally like, I'm actually starting to like.
I wish
boil
I
up
was
a
I
little.
was talking to this person because I would have fun with this. I'm like, I'd be listening to this person being like, I don't know if you're trolling or not, or if you're a real person, but I'm gonna have some fun with this.
No, but then it's like, yeah, at 37, I don't think this is a phase anymore. It's like, I guess so. Whatever helps you get through your day. I'm just like, oh, fuck you.
So immediately
I
this
would
comes
never
to
talk to
mind.
this person again.
Any person that today talks, or even I guess at any point, talks about how, oh, you're way too involved in this anime or this game thing. These are the same people that fucking lose their shit because their sports team didn't do well.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
like the typical, like, fucking MTV generation, Bollywood bim, like, to quote Adam Trump, paraphrase, Bollywood bimbo, like, type of person. Like, this is the fucking type of dumbass who, like, hooks onto Jersey Shore and these dumbass reality shows who follow Kim Kardashian, these type of people. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with what we do?
So this person is probably like the people that's keeping All Elite Wrestling from actually getting past the Real Housewives of fucking New Jersey.
Possibly.
Because
yeah,
every
it's
fucking time the ratings come out, that show is the only show that isn't news related that beats them. And it drives me mad because I'm like, that show is literally you watching the most horrible people on the planet. Why are you giving them more attention? Why?
That's what I don't
Yeah,
fucking
true.
get. That's what pisses me off. It's like, okay, for one thing, like, I don't know if you noticed, we're taking over the fucking world lately. Grand Theft
Lately?
Auto 5
Lately?
in the last okay, okay, in the
AOC may be president at some point in her life, and this bitch is playing Among Us on Twitch these days.
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's like, yo,
The Jag meat scene.
That was fucking weird, by the way. Seeing a Canadian politician with AOC playing Among Us, I'm like, what is this fucking year we're in?
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's just what was pissing me off. It's like I just can't believe this fucking dumbassery, ignorant, judgmental shit is still going on with us. Like, fuck.
I'd really have
Like,
to wonder, like, this is the kind of person I need to meet and be like, I need to ask questions about your life because I really need to understand where you're coming from on this because so few people carry this view anymore that aren't over the age of 55.
Yeah.
after the show, I can give you.
Oh, I
some
don't actually
DM.
care, but if I met this person in person, I'd want to know. Because if I'm going to
No,
have to
'cause-
listen to this diatribe, I'm going to need some fucking information.
'Cause
I need
it's-
some
it's
backstory.
fucking-
Yeah.
I just can't believe that, like, there's still some people who are actually thinking like this. It's like, We're fucking nerds. Big deal. Guess what? We're fucking making the entertainment industry run right now.
The sad
We're
part
fucking-
is I'd rather actually have these people more often than what the people that we have in our own community are right now. That's kind of the annoying
That's true.
part.
I'd rather somebody just call me a nerd than the fucking.
Do you have anything else to
SJW
add from that segment?
warriors
Because
that
I
are
have a
actually going
segue
against them.
for what you just did, Vish.
No, go ahead. You say what you want.
Okay,
I
well-
I have something small.
Curious. And
Can I segue this though? Because this is like so perfectly tying in.
Well, I just had my final thought.
Oh,
on what
okay,
you
go
said,
ahead
and
then.
then yeah, I was just gonna say, whenever people start to talk to me about that, and they're like, "Oh, it's just a phase," or like, "That's weird," I'm like, "Yeah, it's just like you watching movies. Do you watch sports or movies? Yeah, because like that's just a phase too."
Yeah,
'Cause it's the
like
same
Toronto Maple
fucking
Leaf
thing.
fans, that's just a phase. It's a phase that never ends, but it's just a phase.
Yeah. And then if I ever actually go to that person's house and then I see them watching TV, I'm like, "Oh, are you watching television? What is wrong
It's like,
with
oh, are
you?
you
Is
watching
that just
the
a phase?"
news? Ugh.
Yeah, most people like grow out of that
Like,
because it's the same
Why
fucking thing.
don't you just get out of that phase and like go like enjoy yourself?
Mm.
I mean,
Wait,
it really
you're not
does come
outside
down to like,
playing?
hey, why don't you get out of this dick phase and like start being like a nice person? That's a cool phase.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
That
good one.
comment that this person gave was, "Don't you even watch TV or do anything else?" I'm like,
To which I
Fucking
wish I could jump into the conversation and be like, dude, like Vish literally can't go 5 minutes without saying this reminds me of The Boys.
no.
Also, the game is attached to the TV.
Yeah,
it is a
technically you're
TV.
watching TV.
You're
It's like when
watching
people
TV.
say
You're just also
"Do you-"
controlling it and using your mind.
It's almost like when people say, "Look, do you not read?" I'm like, "Yeah, I read the subtitles when I'm watching cutscenes." Yeah, of course. So yeah.
So good.
Segue.
Segue away, madam. Adam.
So speaking of people that, you know, in our own community that say some really stupid shit. So this is the first of a couple of things that I want to get off my chest. I wrote a blog post about it not too long ago, but I kind of saying it in person on the podcast also makes it even better because I get to fucking vent. So the Game Awards are on the 10th, so we're 8 days away. So basically Thursday of next week. And the Golden Joystick Awards are already out. And those awards came out, and The Last of Us cleaned house. And as you know, gamers apparently think The Last of Us is the most divisive thing that's ever come into human history, you know, which is interesting, I guess. I mean, now that I'm way past the drama of like the story itself on paper sounding kind of dumb, now all it is just blatant transphobia and like blatant like just hatred.
Oh yeah.
And I'm watching so many people being like, how could they give this game by Neil Cuckman? And I'm like, by the way, spoiler alert, guys. A pro tip, the second you start replacing the names of somebody with a term, you suddenly lose any credibility you have because it sounds less like you're using logic so much as you're using your feelings. And you same guys also are the guys that follow Ben Shapiro's facts don't care about your feelings stuff. So nice try, dumb shit. But yeah, these guys are all like, how could you fucking let this game that was so divisive be Game of the Year? I'm like, because the people that voted for this might have actually thought it was really good.
Mhm.
And from what I hear, it is
besides,
actually
like-
a good game.
Yeah, there might be the odd story choice
And a
like,
really
that's,
awkward
like,
sex scene.
controversial in this. Yes. But I mean, that's just writing. Like that's just how writing goes. And sometimes, like, it doesn't need to be perfect because it should make
Oh,
you feel a
there's
little
new-
uncomfortable or whatever. Because that's a good story.
So it says right there, nudity and
M.
sexual content.
Yeah. But it just comes
Nice.
down to like, and I notice it more and more now that I'm out of my dumb fucking bubble that I used to be into. For whatever reason, we went from why don't you like this to why don't you like this in the exact specific way that I like this thing. So the second that you have any difference of an opinion on anything, you're apparently a terrible piece of shit and you should be doxxed and canceled and whatever else. And this used to be the left that did this. And now it's suddenly the pendulum shifts. And now I still think there's some stuff on the left that I don't like, but it is now clear as day that it is far more bigotry right now than there is social justice, like activism. Because now, like,
Nah, really?
Yeah.
you can look at 2020 in comparison to say 2010. Obviously, like Elliot Page being a big example of that. Almost all like reaction to it have been positive, which is a great sign because that's what it should be. Whereas obviously when Caitlyn Jenner was a thing, that did not go over very smoothly. So you can already see the difference that when it comes to the culture war, the good guys won. Sorry to say it, but the good guys won. So now it's like what we're seeing with, say, the Trump presidency, that's, all these fake ballots and shit. That, now it's
But apparently there's some voter fraud going on.
Yeah, that they've lost 40 out of 41 cases on. Good job, guys. In fact, some of them, they've been recalled votes and more Biden votes have happened. So it's even funnier.
Paying $4 million.
No, the absolute best one was that in Wisconsin, they did a recount to see, and there was 131 more votes.
So what Joe I literally just said.
Literally.
Motherfucker doesn't listen, I'm telling you.
He don't need to listen.
But yeah, Wisconsin was a specific one. You didn't mention Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, but I mentioned that Biden got more votes. That's basically exactly what I was talking about. So, this whole listening thing.
Okay.
But going back to gaming, like, it really does seem like we're in that case now where it used to be, why aren't there more women? And now anytime a woman shows up in anything, it's why the fuck is there a woman here? Why are there boobs? To which I say, guys, don't you like boobs? I thought we liked boobs. I thought we were all together on this one. I thought we liked boobs.
When did that switch?
Do you guys not like boobs anymore? What? Do you guys just like dick? Is that what it is? I don't have a problem. I'm bi. I don't have a problem with dick. But do you guys want dick?
They're being a bunch of dicks right now.
I mean, look, you guys complain that like Mortal Kombat's costumes are mostly like shirtless guys. I'm like, okay, well, you seem to be okay with shirtless guys. So you must like some dicks. So I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah, if people don't like boobs anymore, I'm willing to accept at no charge all unwanted boobs. I will be. They are welcome in.
Okay.
And just a reminder to everybody.
Chris, you know what? I think I don't want to bear with that burden. I will take half. 65% of.
Okay, we're gonna go 50-50. That doesn't seem very fair that you're all of a sudden taking 65.
Listen, dude, I think
he's jumping on the grenade that no one wants to be around. He's the guy that's like, "Oh, cover up for you guys. Go on without me."
Oh my god. I'm now picturing a grenade that is literally, when it explodes, there's boobs everywhere.
It's like that scene from Futurama. It's like, you guys will be punished to the death by Snoo Stew. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, as long as we don't have to look at each other and we're in separate rooms, I'm good.
I mean, even honestly, even then, death by Snoo Stew I'm okay with sharing that. If that's how I go, if it means I have to share it, fuck it, I'll deal with it. Death by Snoo Stew is probably the best way you're ever gonna go. So, go out in a blaze of glory and semen.
I like it.
I'm drowning.
Oh God. Oh, it was fine until the drowning. That's when it got uncomfortable.
So apparently one of us has hentai levels of semen in us. So
no, new rule. Everybody's got to jerk off once.
Every time a guy's about to come in a hentai, he friggin' he cocks his cock like it's a fucking super soaker, being like, "All right, let's go."
Is it like that one porn game from Atari?
No, it's no.
No.
Actually, kind of. Actually, you know what? Kind of. Hentai has a lot of rape to it. You know what? Kinda. You're right. Kinda.
This game, you're like jizzing off a building, and the chick has to catch the.
Oh, I thought we were doing General Custard. That's what I thought we were going.
No, this is another one. Of course, you know which game I'm talking about, right?
No, I probably do if I look at it again, but I would on the stream, but I don't want to get demonetized up more than I already am. So, so back to not liking boobs, guys. You fucking idiots.
I want to get demonetized. Back to boobs.
It's just that thing where it's like, holy fuck. And even if you take away the hatred for last, like, let's even take away the transphobia or the bigotry. Why the fuck do you care so much about an award show? They don't
Yeah.
mean anything. If you want Ghost of Tsushima to be the game of the year so badly, like Last of Us Part 2 winning game of the year on the Game Awards is not going to make you like Ghost of Tsushima less. You're still going to love the game. Unless you're so butthurt that you can't enjoy anything because the second you plug in your PlayStation and turn it on, you're like, this reminds me of Last of Us. And then who's the fucking triggered one, right?
Oh yeah.
But that's just that thing where
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
doesn't make
oh
any
my
sense.
god, like it's the same people that I see get mad when a certain movie wins the Oscars for Best Picture. And it's like, motherfucker, like if you like the movie, it's fine if it doesn't win.
Yeah. Doesn't
Like
matter.
how can you imagine
I
how
think-
many triggered motherfuckers would have got mad if Joaquin Phoenix didn't win for Joker? Oh, so many people would be so
lot of
mad.
nerds.
Oh my god.
So many
Yeah.
people.
And yeah,
I think my favorite part of the Joystick Awards is that they had a award for best Switch game, PlayStation game, and Xbox game. And for Nintendo, and don't get me wrong, Animal Crossing, I own it. It's a fantastic game in the sense of The Sims is a fantastic game. It's just a nice, relaxing way to pass time, and it's soothing, and it's always happy. It won the best Nintendo game. It also was the only Nintendo game that came out this year, I think. So it kind of won by default, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't say it when we were doing the awards the other show, but no offense to Animal Crossing, you aren't game of the year potential.
No.
And I think most Animal Crossing fans are smart enough to go, yeah, I wouldn't put it up there with Ghost of Tsushima and
No.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's like, look, it was good, but
Yeah. I think
it's
the
literally just
awards-
falls victim to just being it's the one good Switch game that came out
Yeah.
this year. So
Yeah. I think that if there was an award for like best mental health game, best dealing with the pandemic game, best
Or best,
Demon's
makes you
Souls.
feel
game
happy.
for-
it's clearly best
Yeah.
mental health game. It's Demon's Souls. Come on.
No, Adam, I feel like we need to talk. We gotta talk because that is the complete opposite of how to deal with anything with mental health. Excuse me.
Well,
No
that's
men-
why, like,
no-
when we
no
do
men-
our year-end
If
awards,
it's,
it's like spoiler alert or not spoiler. I guess not spoiler.
if
but,
it's
like,
a satisfyingly violent game, it could be good for mental health.
no,
just
it's just
frustration
it's
of
stupid
it.
hard. You will hate
Not if you're
yourself.
the one dying. Not if you're the one dying.
But like
Fair enough.
for those that end up watching our year-end awards show, like we don't actually go through games that came out in the last 12 months because most of the stuff that we play, because we aren't YouTube, and streamers that have thousands of dollars that can just easily buy games and do this full time. Most of the stuff we play is not from this year. So
No, we'll have only a few games, if that.
if I actually tried, my list would be like, oh,
God.
it's probably just Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and like that, and you'll have to, and that's at the very end of the year. That means the rest of the year you didn't play anything new,
Yeah.
unless
So
a
it's-
Trails game. No,
Oh, I'm pretty much convinced at this point that Trails 3 is going to be my game of the year. I think that's Cyberpunk is the only thing that's going to stop at this fucking burping now. It's the only thing that's going to stop me at this point. I'm fucking drinking water.
even
How
tell
am
if
I
I
burping
played
so much? This is stupid.
it happens. Oh no, I did play some new stuff. I got the PS5, Miles Morales. Okay, there's one.
I'm sure
That
if I
might be
went
the
through,
only
there's more
one.
than I think there is, but I mean,
Fuck.
I'm not playing based on when it came
Still,
out.
it's not as much. Yeah, it's to anybody listening, it is definitely not our forte. We don't get sponsorships. We don't get the new products sent to us. We don't make thousands of extra dollars. Yeah, we're playing stuff we already have in our backlog, or it was on sale,
And I mean,
which
going
makes us
back
very relatable.
going back to the game of the year conversation, just comes down to two, like most of us don't play all the games that are up for game of the year. So how do you know
Yeah.
what the best game is? So when everybody
Yeah.
says like, "Oh, this game is clearly the best game of the year," my immediate question is, really, did you play every game that's up for nomination this year?
That's
Not
a good
to
point.
mention,
Anything
it's 6
nominated, you got to
games.
play.
It's 6
Yeah.
games out of like thousands that came out. For all you know, there are games out there that no one's played that could actually be better than the 6 that are listed, but you won't know because no one got around to playing it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's subjective, and awards are arbitrary. They are meaningless. It's not like, whatever game wins Game of the Year at the Game Awards suddenly goes free for everybody. It doesn't, like, there's nothing that happens. It's just like bragging rights. It's just for fucking
It
sweaty
really,
dipshits on Twitter to be like, see, I fucking knew this one was the best one.
Okay, I will tell you one thing that I've learned throughout my career. So, for example, our local newspaper, the Spectator, they have a reader's choice every year, and for various categories, such as fitness studios, such as car dealerships.
Those help with business.
Yeah. However, one guy himself, we were speaking, and he had mentioned, this thing's a complete scam. It's to get.
I'm sure there's some money being
brag
transferred
about it. Oh no, just to get people bragging about it, to get people to read about it, just like create people to get campaigns about it, and to pay for advertising, like vote for us, vote for us. So this whole thing, a lot of these awards are similar to this model. That is just a fucking scam. It's just marketing. It is just publicity.
Well, and here's the biggest thing too. The Game Awards, most of you have already played the games, so it's not even really marketing.
Yeah.
Like most of the people that are arguing about it, they've played the games. There's no reason to care if your game wins.
Well, let me ask you one question.
Sure.
Who is the biggest actor in the world right now?
Probably Dwayne Johnson, and he doesn't star in like Oscar-winning movies.
Exactly. So these awards are really, they don't like contribute much. Like, don't get me wrong. I think if you do a phenomenal performance, you should be honored for it, and you should achieve something. But these awards for actually like the quality and entertainment value don't fucking
regular people shouldn't be putting their full emotions into it.
Because when was the last? Can anyone name one movie of Meryl Streep's besides Mamma Mia that's grossed over $100 million at the box office?
To which I also go ask, why does that matter in the first place?
I'm just
also, why the fuck did Mamma Mia make that much money? That sucks.
Because people are dumb.
Because after they watch
in the movie.
But yeah, like the Game Awards, or even just any awards in general, it's the same with people that freak out about review scores. It's like, guys, like I enjoy games that some reviewers like. I enjoy The Bouncer on PS2, which was a critically panned game.
That game's fantastic,
and I love that game. And there are people that think Final Fantasy VII is the greatest Final Fantasy ever, and I'm like, it's not even top 5. But it doesn't make your enjoyment or my enjoyment of that thing any different. If Jeff Keighley goes up there and says the game of the year this year is Animal Crossing, is that going to make anybody who played Doom Eternal, Hades, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Last of Us Part 2, and Ghost of Tsushima, is it going to make any of you hate the game suddenly? No. So fucking relax.
Yeah, because if you base it on amount of revenue, if you base it on impact on that year, if you base it on artistic style, you put it on number of users played, like there's so many different ways to look at stuff. And these awards don't look at everything. Because revenue is never the best movie. It's the most fun movie.
Actually matter. Like I said when we did our run through the all the nominees, the only award that I actually care about is the one that's Games for Impact, because I think Tell Me Why needs to win that because it needs to bring more exposure to transgender characters. So there's stuff like that.
Absolutely, and that's a fantastic category.
But a Game of the Year is just an arbitrary award. Because how many games are getting Game of the Year editions?
Yeah, it's weird that it's more than one every year.
Yeah, isn't that so interesting, guys? How there's more than one Game of the Year edition?
Yeah, I know.
Next year, guys,
it's almost like the label doesn't mean anything.
There's been one for Spider-Man. There's been one for Uncharted. There's been one for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well, like this year, there's going to be like sometime next year or whenever. There's going to be one for Last of Us Part 2. There's going to be one for fucking Ghost of Tsushima. There's going to be one for probably Cyberpunk, unless it flops, which I don't think it should. Like, there's a lot of games that can get that treatment. And Avengers is going to try, and it's going to be like the game of some time. It was a game of this year. It'll be of Marvel's Avengers, a game of this year edition.
It's funny you say that because that's what I was going to say. I actually have a feeling there will be a game of the year edition for Avengers. Like I feel like they're going to label it like that. I don't know why.
It won't even be that. It'll be the Avengers. Please play this edition.
Yeah, I mean, if they make that edition free,
that's basically what it's going to take at this point.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, no. When it comes to these awards, it's ridiculous because it doesn't. First of all, they don't matter. Like, it's not like that game then donates $60 million to charity or something. Nothing happens other than clout. Just like they get to fucking rub their own dicks, and it's a dick measuring contest where actually everybody's all the same size. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Like, the Game Awards really is the closest to being like a fan one, but even then, it's still arbitrary. Because
every fan is different. So if you get one group of people to vote the most, hey, look, they're the best at using a computer. If you lost, that means your friends suck.
I even said in my article, I thought Trails of Cold Steel 3 should have been up for nomination for Best RPG last year when it came out, because it was legitimately an amazing JRPG. Persona 5 Royal is nominated this year, and it's not even a new game. It's just a re-release. Yeah. Like, they don't matter, guys. They don't matter. Like, the last time I cared about award show was when I was like a kid watching the Teen Choice Awards, until I realized, oh wait, no one actually cares about the surfboards. They just want to see their fucking teenage crush go on stage so they can scream at him.
Yep. If Ryan Reynolds didn't win, I was pissed.
It's just it's just one of those dumb little things. Chris, do you have any little grind your gears things going on?
You don't really grind my gears.
All of my grinding of gears are, I don't know, I guess pretty personal in the sense of I'm looking for a house right now, and the pandemic and Christmas and the housing market sucks my butthole. I don't know what else to say. It's
I shouldn't say
gaming
sucks
related,
because you might like that.
Yeah, no, I do take a plunger to it usually. So yeah, no, probably not that. But either way, yeah, gaming wise, I don't know. I was seeing some console war stuff that was kind of pissing me off with the Xbox versus PlayStation stuff.
Is it amazing that like on the Twitter accounts, the official Twitter accounts, they're friendly with each other, but their fans aren't?
Yeah,
like I thought we were all considered to be monkeys and dumbass follower sheep fans, and yet we don't follow what the guys do on their own social media accounts. So
no, they congratulate each other.
They are loving. I can tell you that they are loving the animosity between the fans.
Oh, because they know it means that it's just sales for both their consoles are going to go through the fucking roof over it.
And it's also more exposure.
Absolutely.
I don't even know if it's exposure at this point. I don't think there's any more exposure it can have.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exposed.
They will want as much as they can.
Well, no, but what I mean is like who doesn't know about these at this point?
Yeah.
Like, I take exposure literally. I know that it's keeping it fresh in people's minds, but like whenever I hear the word, we're trying to expose it to more people, it's like, who are these more people?
Yeah. What's a PlayStation? The only people that exist that are like that
are the people that the only people that probably don't know it exists, A, don't have internet, and B, are too poor to afford it. So there's no point.
No, they're like 75 and they still refer to all video games as your Nintendo. Oh, did you get your new Nintendo? It's an Xbox Series X. What the fuck?
Remember, it's not a Nintendo. It's a Nintendo Entertainment System.
No, so they didn't even know that. But yeah, no, I don't really have like when it comes to the whole like console war stuff. Phil Spencer even came out and he said the thing he hates the most is actually basically the console wars, like the animosity between the two groups. He's like, we're all in the same industry and we all win. Like, this is if anything, we should encourage people to have both, not that's the thing. One over the other.
When everybody thought like, oh, Xbox is like dying, it's like, no, we want Xbox, Series X to be good because we want there to be competition. Like,
actually,
if you are an American right now, you want small ISPs to fucking compete with your big ass ISP because it would mean they'd fucking stop treating you like shit.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm watching this one show also on Netflix. It's a show from India, and it's about web app developers. It's and they were talking about how Bill Gates invested into Apple to save it, essentially, to make sure competition to increase his product's quality. And that's the thing. It's like the competition is necessary. It is healthy. It will help make things better in the long
Well,
run.
because competition means that you have to stay one step ahead, which means you're constantly innovating. If you have no competition, there's no sense to innovate.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can't become an asshole, basically.
Like
I love
if
how
there's
on
only
national-
Sony, we don't get the SSD.
No,
There's
that
no
wouldn't have
reason to.
happened.
You just
The
get the
controller-
same dumb
the
fucking
controller
black
probably
box.
wouldn't have happened. Yep. Haptic feedback wouldn't have happened. None of it.
Yeah,
I love how. Yeah, I love how on National Video Game Day, all of the publishers, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they publish like this perfect flag, and it has like all the colors of Microsoft and Sony, Nintendo. I think even saw some with Steam on it, and they're posting like, happy National Video Game Day. We're all in this together, blah, 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 blah. And like every single person from those companies, like their social media department obviously has posted these amazing posts. And then it's the comments that are like, fuck you. Why the fuck is Xbox included? It's like, I'm sorry, does it not play video games? Like, I don't understand what you're mad at here. Like, what the fuck is happening?
It's
the
like that
comments,
whole
it's not even the
conversation when
companies.
people were like, "Oh, mobile gamers aren't real gamers." It's like, does it matter?
Yeah.
Does
Like,
it
who
really
cares
matter?
if somebody uses their phone to play puzzle or slot machines or some shit, whatever, let them play as long as they don't have a problem and, scream at you and then hit you with their iPad or whatever the fuck worst case scenario would be.
The
Everybody
reality
should just
is
play.
it's a bunch of fucking loners who have no friends, and they're just like, well, this is the one thing I have that's connected to me, so it's got to be like me, or otherwise it doesn't matter. It's like, no, you can enjoy it in your own little space, and everybody else can do their own thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Dude or dudette, you're one person. No one gives a fuck about you in this entire industry, let alone the world or the universe.
It's like, we can move
what
on
the
without you. So you can either get on the train and enjoy the ride with the rest of us, or you can just fuck off. Like, we don't need you. And clearly the industry doesn't care, because it's obvious that it's moving forward to be a lot more, not even progressive, to be fucking more open to people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To be entirely honest, fucking off would help us all a lot more.
Yeah, go back to
Fucking
your
is the
days of just
solution.
playing Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Just go do that. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot. You guys don't like boobs anymore. Sorry, I forgot.
Again, you can send them to me at P.O. Box Chris. That's it. That's all I'm giving.
Perfect.
You can send me the other half.
No.
60%.
Yep.
Fuck.
So the last thing I want to finish
Adam, you
with
never
then-
spoke up wanting any.
No, it's okay. I got my own. I'm good. So the last thing I wanted to finish with, tomorrow, at least here in Canada, I don't know how it's going to be like in the States or anywhere else. As of 11
It's
a.m.
confirmed it's in there too.
11 a.m. tomorrow, there will be another set of stock of PS5s to be bought with retailers, which means that starting at about 11:01 p.m. Eastern, there's going to be a cascade of Twitter posts and Reddit posts and Facebook posts and YouTube videos about how Sony is fucking shit and needs to get their shit together because I can't get my fucking console. To which I'm going to remind people, you are one of millions of people that want something. There's this thing called supply and demand out there. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a pandemic going on. So we haven't got nearly as many producers we might have before. So there might be this. I know it's a crazy concept, but there's this thing called limited quantities right now. So there's a possibility that you might not get one. And I just put out a blog post today, like just quickly, roughly saying it, but I'll say it here anyway. You not getting a PS5 tomorrow does not mean that you won't get a PS5 another time. Does not mean that when you eventually do get it, that you won't enjoy Astro's Playroom, that you won't enjoy Demon's Souls, that you won't enjoy Miles Morales, that you won't enjoy any game. It doesn't mean that you won't enjoy the 3D audio, the DualSense, all that stuff. It doesn't mean that when you get it, you won't enjoy it as much. When you do get this console, you will still enjoy it the same way that you would have if you'd gotten it tomorrow. If it takes you 3 months, if it takes you 6 months, it doesn't matter. That enjoyment will still be there. And that fear of missing out that a lot of you seem to be afraid of is non-existent. You're not missing anything. You're just getting to it later. You're not missing it. You're just behind. That's different. You're not that fucking bad off. You'll be fine. It's just a video game. I know that from a bunch of guys on a video game podcast that's saying something, but it's just a fucking video game. There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of other things you can be doing than spending your hard-earned money on something that is clearly stressing you out right now. If I was you, wait until the pandemic is over and we have a steady flow of consoles coming in.
Reevaluate your life and see what priorities are.
If you're emotionally attached to the point that you're getting physically angry, and especially the fucking stupid dumb fucks that are sending death threats, if you're getting so emotionally upset over not getting something, you need to ask yourself two questions. One, the fuck is wrong with my life right now? And two, am I a fucking child? Like, holy shit. I can easily go, like, the only reason I have one is because Chris got an extra just by accident. If he only had the one, I have no problem waiting 6 months, if not longer.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's not hard.
I'm not even like bothering to look into getting mine for at least June. That's literally at the earliest.
Well, that's the thing.
Because
it's not like there's nothing coming out anymore.
Yeah, Vishal, you'd be covered till June easy. All the games are coming out on both.
Even if he doesn't buy another game, his backlog is probably substantial enough that he could pull it off.
Yeah. Like I got these two right now. I have a few other ones, and it's like, guys, just shut the fuck up. Like, there's other things to worry about right now. Literally,
like, can we not like
bigger things to worry about?
Can we worry about not dying right now? Like,
yeah.
Is a
like,
there's no extra
I was about to say a
lives in
piece
real
of
life.
plastic. I'm like, well, it's a pretty fucking big piece of plastic. But is a piece of plastic so big a deal that it's worth like you spending your entire day like getting so emotionally upset about it? To which the answer is no.
No, it's not. No.
But this is the internet we're talking about, and the internet literally thrives on drama. So drama, shit posting, and dumb fucks. So.
Obviously, a lot of people have been complaining about the scalpers and stuff where it's like, listen, so what? Like, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get a console. It's fine. However, there was one scalper story I did kind of find funny. I think they were in the UK, and it was a guy who was smart enough to have a bot system set up on his computer that when, I think it was PlayStation 5, it could have been Xbox, maybe both, but a bot system that was just buying them instantly as stock became available faster than, a normal person could buy them. And even though he was smart enough to get that set up, he was stupid enough to post on social media that he got 1,000 of them from Walmart or Best Buy or whatever it was. And then Best Buy or Walmart, whoever it was, saw the post and canceled their entire order. I thought that was hilarious.
I don't know what happened. I got completely disconnected out of nowhere.
Well, say La Vie when it comes to the internet.
Pretty much.
So instead of looking at your ugly face, they get to see my adorable little avatar.
Oh, bitch. Please.
Yay.
I think I gotta be able to reconnect in a second anyways.
That's fine. We're pretty much nearly done at this point anyway. I mean,
really
the gist of it is honestly that, like, yeah, I know, bots and scalpers are pretty fucking annoying, but, so?
Yeah.
Like everybody makes it sound like 99% of consoles got bought by scalpers. It's like, no. Like, I'd be willing to say not even 10%. 3%.
Yeah, it's like 3-7%.
So if you're not actually mad at scalpers, you fucking dipshits, you're mad at people that just got it before you. To which I say, stop being a fucking child.
Because if that person got their system, they wouldn't be mad at scalpers.
Be grateful you didn't pay the $1,500 that some of these assholes are charging.
Oh, that's a whole that is a whole nother conversation.
A whole other thing. But I mean, you can just not buy it from them and wait until it's in a retail store.
Because, like, here's the thing, guys, and this is how I ended the post. I said, it's 2020 and it's almost over. 2021 is a long time. It'll be a long time. You will get your console. If you actually want the console and you are ready to pay for it, you will have it in 2021. Take that with you and just be happy about that. Look forward to it, but don't fucking lose your shit because today wasn't the day. It will happen.
Yes, please.
It's like, dude, if anybody should be mad at stuff, it should be people that are mad at Cyberpunk right now, or people that waited fucking like 10 years for a new Kingdom Hearts game. Eventually the thing will come. If you have a receipt or if you have confirmation that it's out there in the wild, you will get it. So just hang in there and stop pretending like you had nothing else going on, because there are a million... It's the same people through this entire pandemic that said, I have nothing to do. No, you just ran out of things that you want to do and you're not willing to experiment. This is the time, if you're a PlayStation 4 owner, for example, this is the time that you go through your entire library of PlayStation Plus free games and try some that you never did.
And also, I will say
Your backlog's
another
still
thing
there.
as well. You don't even have to dedicate yourself to just playing your games through your backlog. This is a time where if you wanted to actually learn something, you want to try something new, this is your best opportunity to do it.
No, I don't even go that far, because those people be like, well, I don't want to do that. No, even just keep it to gaming. Guys,
Then
like,
I don't
you got all these
care.
free games potentially that you can go through. You can go back and replay games, since apparently a lot of these dumb fucks are like nostalgic as fuck. All they want to do is talk about games that they've already played. So do that. Or here's an idea. When the sale comes up and you see a game that you're like, oh, I was kind of on the fence on that one. Oh, it's like 10, 15 bucks now. Why the fuck don't I try that? Like, take a chance on something. I mean, apparently if you're okay with
Also,
spending
let's be honest-
$800 on a fucking console that you're willing to spend your entire day hitting F5 over and over again, I don't see what the problem is with $10.
Yeah, let's also be honest. There's no such thing as a gamer that doesn't have at least one game in a backlog. You have something to play.
There's
You
something else to do. It's just the idea that you're the spoiled brat who just, you're like the girl in fucking Willy Wonka that's just like, but I want it now. That's all you are.
And then we all turn into giant blueberries. That's just what happens. Giant blueberries. Throwing it out there.
It's either Violet Beauregard or Veruca
No,
Salt.
it's Veruca Salt.
Oh, okay. They're both terrible, though.
Well, that's the whole
Everyone
theme
in
of
that
it, is
movie's
that
terrible.
every kid in that show is terrible.
Even Charlie. Everybody.
Yeah, because his name's Charlie. Fuck you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Fuck
Willy
you.
Wonka's the only genius. He's crazy. Therefore, he doesn't have to think. He just does.
But yeah, long story short, I'll keep saying it. Chill the fuck out, guys. Stop being dicks to each
And
other.
stop being a dick. Yeah.
That's today's theme of the episode. Chill.
Don't be a dick.
No, the title of this episode is fucking oh my god, why am I blank? Fuck. Nope, it's not the title anymore. It's a vent session. That's what the title is going to be.
Or just news, like as a question.
Session Volume 1.
Like the biggest thing, and here we are in 2020 with the industry being better than it's ever been. I know people like to pretend that it's so bad right now. It's the best it's ever been, and it will continue to be better than it's ever been as we go forward. I don't understand why in 2020 we're still gatekeeping this fucking community, because there are so many options out there. You don't have to gatekeep shit, because you can have your own little section and never have to deal with anybody. If you are so into fucking Dark Souls games that you don't give a fuck about any other kind of games, stick to it. Who cares? Who cares about what fucking other people are doing? I know a lot of people hate on Fortnite because of fucking kids, but you don't have to engage in Fortnite culture. You can just do your thing.
Yeah.
I used to be strictly a JRPG guy through the entire PlayStation 2 era, and I didn't give a fuck about people that were going nuts about God of War. Doesn't take much to just ignore everything else around you and enjoy the things that you like.
And a small aside about Fortnite.
So go ahead.
Go ahead, dude. No, go.
No.
Can you both stop being so goddamn Canadian? Jesus Christ.
I'm wearing a plaid shirt. It's literally the most Canadian thing I can do.
I'm Old Navy.
So you're doing the most douchey thing you could do. That suits you about right. Okay.
When it comes to Fortnite, even though I rag on it pretty hard, I can picture myself as like a 12 or 13-year-old, and I look at all the things that are in Fortnite. 12 or 13-year-old me would have been blown away. Like, there's fucking video chat in there. Like, not only when are you playing a game is it just audio, it's fucking video. Like, Fortnite, like Travis Scott having a fucking concert in the game. Like I just feel like that game, while like looking, as a 37-year-old, like what the fuck?
While I don't think it's that great of a game, the experience behind it is
The culture
amazing.
behind it is incredible.
Yeah, the culture. Yeah, like you feel like you belong somewhere. When you're 12, 13, that's fucking hard. Like when you're 12 or 13, you don't fit in anywhere. So to have
That's
that,
that's why what I was so fucking pissed earlier when I heard those dumbassery comments. It's like what the fuck is the big deal? And to be entirely honest, a lot of this ignorance and fucking like judgmental and entitled shit is what made us go into video games, so we can actually fucking
100%.
Yeah, if somebody ever says, "Oh, aren't you going to grow out of that phase?" It's like, motherfucker, that phase probably kept me from killing myself as a kid.
Yeah,
it actually made me friends. It's like yeah.
It's like, honestly, go fuck yourself. You have a issue with this? Too bad.
Yeah, the same people that are like, "Oh, why do you like games or why do you like anime?" Motherfucker, go do your own shit. Like, you do you and I do me.
It's not like
I will go enjoy my waifus, and you go and enjoy your fucking miserable life, like the rest of us.
Yeah, go fucking watch. Go watch MTV. Go be a fucking old school Bollywood bimbo. Like, fuck right off. Let us be us. Because I think what we're doing is doing a better impact in the fucking world than what you were ever going to be able to do.
Like, go through, like, I dare you, like, anybody watching, go through my Twitter account on CS Radical and point out all the tweets of me bashing people. Like, literally, like, going into comment sections and bashing. Like, I might bash a game, I might bash certain things here and there, but go through all my replies and see me calling people fucking assholes because they like something. You're not going to find that, because I don't care.
You only bash people because they hate something. And they're the only ones that deserve it.
Like, I bash people for being idiots. I bash people for being fucking, like, hateful
idiots,
pieces
dicks.
of shit.
Yeah, hateful people deserve it, too.
Yeah.
Be inclusive. Fuck off.
I don't even say being inclusive. If you don't, like, let's just even say it blankly. If you're a racist or a bigot or a transphobe or whatever the fuck, just ignore those people. Just ignore it. Because Lord knows there's a bunch of other dumb fucking white folk that you can go with.
Yeah. Fuck those people.
And you know what? I made my color, my skin may be white, but I'm not going to be one of you. So fucking go away.
We don't like your kind around
Totally agree.
here.
No, Skeeter, you ain't hurting nobody.
No, that's just the whole thing. It's like, fuck off. You do you, I do me. Like, why, like, this just, what is this fuck, what, and I don't even know what is so fucking wrong about it either.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just misery loves company. So when these people hate themselves, it's easier to project that onto somebody else as well.
Yep.
It's a simple thing. They don't like them. They don't like themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always love the point where it's like, if I'm playing Uncharted and somebody's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, you're playing a game. It's like, what's the difference of me doing this versus you watching like Indiana Jones? What's the fucking difference?
Like, it's really the honest
You'd watch
reality.
that movie, no problem.
As somebody who used to be down that dark rabbit hole, I fucking hated myself, and it showed. Now that I'm a lot more comfortable with myself, now that I actually like appreciate the person that I am, isn't it interesting how I'm like a less of a hateful piece of shit? It's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you're comfortable in your own skin, you stop worrying about other people around you.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
100%.
Also, on a side note, Old Navy has some really awesome t-shirts for half price this week.
Who
Or
cares?
they have them on Black
I'm not
Friday,
going to a
sure.
fucking store. Are you kidding me? Fuck
This
that
is,
shit.
this is one of the ones I got. I love this one. I was so happy when I saw it.
For people that aren't watching the video version of this, he's got a shirt with Nintendo controllers on it. That's all you need to know.
It's a cool
nice.
shirt.
Oh, sorry. It's not a Nintendo. It's a Nintendo Entertainment System.
But isn't
Nice.
every video game system a Nintendo?
No.
Yes.
It's a Sega.
I have the new Nintendo 5 and Nintendo Series X.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris,
But yeah,
please go to the Incredible Bus.
to make a long podcast short, have fun.
Stop being a dick.
No, I don't even want to say stop being a dick. Have fun.
Because if you're having fun,
Yeah.
you won't be a dick.
Just go have fun. Unless your fun's being a dick, in which case, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. But that's a whole nother conversation. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the VCR podcast for this week. Hopefully next week there's at least something to talk about. Because
I love how this was our longest episode with no news.
Yeah.
So basically,
And it's,
the average episode with no news. Just take out the news portion, and it's
this is pretty
basically a
average.
normal podcast.
In 2 weeks from now, we're probably going to have a best of 2020, and I don't think that's going to be very
Well,
long.
I mean, at this point, let me just look at my calendar here.
No,
So
it'll probably be
so
in
the
3 or
16th
4
will
weeks.
probably be our looking over the Game Awards because all the awards will have come out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
either the 23rd or the 30th, depending on how our schedules line up, would be our end of the year show.
23rd, it's going to be my niece's birthday. I will not be available. That
Good,
day.
it's going to be the best podcast we ever do then. All right.
Nice.
Done.
What? We had 100 listeners that day. How did that jump up from 0?
That'd be the point. They'd be like, so Vish, we have to make a business decision on this one. Sorry,
You're still our friend.
It's not you. It's actually, no, you know what? It is you. So fuck off.
It's not you, it's our listeners. They don't like you.
They don't take too kindly to your kind around here. And it's funny because that would definitely be a race thing.
That way would
Yeah.
probably, yeah. I'm willing to put 100.
Finally, all the viewers
You
come in and the
all
chat
very-
suddenly is littered with, man, they finally got the brown guy off.
We'll literally be canceled before we got a chance to be canceled.
Well, have you seen how much grifting fucking like fake Nazis do on YouTube? They make way too much fucking money. You kidding me? Honestly,
that's
if
true.
we actually wanted
is
to
true.
get proper viewership, all we'd have to do is saying fucking SJWs are ruining video games, and we'd suddenly have 1,000 viewers next episode.
That's
But I don't want to do that because that's kind of boring.
If we
Actually,
do it as,
we're the
what if we
Republican.
do it as
gamers.
satire?
My name is Hunter Smith. I'm a Republican video gamer.
Vish, no, you have to do like Dave Chappelle whiteface to even try to pull that off.
No,
I would be
I'm
willing
blind.
to let you
I'm
do that.
blind, brother. I don't see no button.
No,
All
we're
I
pu-
no,
no,
is
no.
them
We're gonna have to put like a mask on
They're
you or something.
ruining America. They're ruining Canada,
A Trump mask?
and they don't even live.
No,
in
don't do the
Canada.
Trump mask. It looks too obvious.
You
Okay,
don't
so
understand.
You gotta be
Reagan.
more clever.
Them liberals.
It's gotta be
They
Reagan.
ruin everything.
Speaking of ruining
It's just-
everything, you've ruined the end of this podcast. I'm cutting you the fuck off right now. So yeah, this has been the VCR podcast. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. We'll be back next week for more gaming content. Well, depends if the news
Probably
holds
not
up.
gaming news.
But we'll come back with some sort of gaming content. So thank you so much, guys, for listening, and we will check you guys in on the next one. Take it easy, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Cheers.